You're just moving into. The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021, years after the year zero, and tomorrow's officially NFL Kickoff Game Day. A little bit of the calm before the storm. There ain't much to talk about today, I'll be honest. There'll be a lot of reaction, obviously, to what Aaron Rodgers said yesterday around the sports world. There's a lot of conversations and predictions and everything, projections and a lot of that. We will ultimately end up doing that as well. We will pick our Super Bowl teams today.
Wow!
If you do recall, 1 year ago, A.J. Hawk said he thought the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs would be in the Super Bowl. He said that with a straight face because Big Mike McCarthy was going down to Dallas and he had the utmost faith in them. They lose their franchise quarterback. A.J. looked like a stooge throughout the entire year, and we referenced it numerous times as the season went on. I did predict Tampa Bay and Kansas City, although I wasn't the only one. Okay, a lot of people were predicting that when you look at the roster, when you look at the paper, when those two teams were expected and projected to go. So maybe this year I'll make a little something different. Maybe I'll shake it up a little bit. Can't wait to hear what the boys think. Can't wait to hear what A.J. Hawk thinks. We'll have Chuck Pagano on today.
What? Okay.
Yeah, he coached at all levels of football for like 33 years before retiring last year.
Damn.
He was last with the Chicago Bears as defense coordinator. He sailed off into the sunset after beating, obviously, leukemia and every football team, I think. The immense amount of stories that he has. He was my coach. I'm very thankful for it. He created Chuck Strong, a foundation that has raised, I think at this point, maybe $100 million. I don't know. That seems like a lot, but I think they've raised 20, 40, 50 million. I don't know. A lot of it. Jim Irsay just bet $2 million on a free throw to get to the Chuck Strong Foundation. Incredible, legendary human. He'll be joining us every single Wednesday this season for a nice Coach Us Up Chuck segment where we will ask him about situations that coaches have found themselves in, the thought of some coaches. And he told us just the other day, he's not looking to get a job with anybody anymore, so fuck it all.
Yeah! Come on, Chuck.
Can't wait to chat with Chuck. He'll join us in the second hour. Also, your phone calls on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. We cannot wait to hear you. The Toxic Table is here at Ty Schmidt. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday was awesome.
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, it's back. It feels like football season again. I am rearing to go, ready for Sunday. I am so goddamn excited. It's awesome.
Just like the first couple Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays last year, a lot of people said, oh, this is terrible. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? So new people that maybe didn't experience Aaron Rodgers Tuesday last year got a chance to experience it this year, and they still have the thought that, oh, this guy's a prima donna prick or whatever. So I got a lot of those tweets yesterday because there was 40,000 people watching at one point yesterday.
No big deal.
Day after Labor Day, season hasn't even started. No big deal. Check other people's live numbers when they go live. That's awesome. They're helping us out, though, because the big deals they're signing is inevitably going to make our deal colossal. But Aaron is a legend, obviously, incredible at football. And when he sits down and chats with us, I feel like we learn so much. Mentally, he seems to be at the same exact state he was last year, which was body feels good. He's happy. He's at ease. He enjoys Matt LaFleur. He enjoys his teammates. He enjoys the offense. And this might be a year where he's saying, fuck everybody. And I can't wait to watch this whole thing. I'm excited for Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays. You asked an incredible question. Put a little bit of...
Yeah, well, I haven't talked to him in a while.
True.
I said, hey, listen, I don't want you to throw anybody under the bus or throw him.
You did. You said.
Yeah.
I'll do the burying.
So I was kind of giving him the out. Hey, I'm not expecting you to throw anyone under the bus, but a lot of us were hoping,
Which, by the way, is my question tactic. And a lot of people say I get a bit wordy, but then they listen to the show a little bit and they're like, oh, this is what he's doing. I'm giving the bullshit canned answer so they can't give it.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so when I ask a question, you'll hear me do this, and I've done this my entire life to everybody, and people hate it early, but then they realize that if you stick with me, why I'm doing it. I am explaining the answer that he could give just to get out of it when I'm asking somebody a question. We know that, and then I'll go into the bullshit, and then I put it on them. And what you see from some people that maybe have never been on the show before, they'll sit, digest that whole thing, and they'll say, well, fuck, I can't just say what he just said. I have to give a different answer now. And normally we find that there's a little bit of a deeper answer coming from people.
Right.
I think I take a lot of pride in how we chat with people. I think we get a lot out of people. Aaron Rodgers yesterday gave us a Zen life quote.
Yep.
His mindset breaks down how he feels. I mean, it is unbelievable. He is one of the smartest humans I've ever talked to. And we started a fucking book club.
Yeah, dispelled a huge rumor that had been going on for, a long time now, and what was like a pivotal piece in the kind of like the fracturing of the relationships. That, it never fucking happened.
I am so excited for it. I think last night I was scrolling through the internet and the reaction to it, and I enjoy it. And I am somebody that does, I look at my mentions. Like I am somebody that goes through. I think you have to, by the way. If you're somebody that doesn't, how do you have any idea or pulse of what people are feeling or reacting to what you're doing, how you're doing it? Maybe a little criticism from people. Now, you can't take one tweet and be like, okay, this person's right. But if it becomes a constant, maybe it's like, all right, hey, maybe I got to look in the mirror a little bit. Now, we don't work for a network, obviously, and I assume the executives in the suits tell people that. For me, it's just I want to listen to the people, Yeah. And yesterday's reaction, we sold fucking books yesterday.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know the depth of a lot of shows. We fucking moved books yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I saw on Twitter. People were screenshotting The Alchemist. The author put it up, I think, actually.
Yeah.
And we're going to be releasing a shirt for the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. Obviously, that is a very elementary design. We pieced it together as quickly as possible. But all proceeds will go to a reader advocacy program / programs of Aaron's choosing. Okay, so we are, and by we I mean me, I am an open book about the fact that I've never opened a book.
Sure.
Okay? At this point, I am kind of proud of it. I don't know how many people can make it this far through college, through school, be all academic on some things without ever actually reading a book, okay?
Yeah.
I just always had ADD. I was always too quick. I can't do it. Who's got the time? Is there a TV show? Is there a movie? I'll do that. Now, I spend my entire life reading on Twitter now. I feel like I'm an above average reader if I have to, but when it comes to books, I have a tough time retaining it for whatever reason. The movie, I can see it, I can predict it, I can remember it, I can put myself in there, never in a book. Yesterday was really cool to fucking see just how many people out there appreciated Aaron pushing reading again, how many people responded to it, how many people bought The Alchemist. My wife already has it. She was halfway done reading it, I guess. I'm like, okay, so in the house we already have this thing. I'm excited to be a part of a book club, and by that I mean I'm going to maybe open the first couple pages and see if this thing gets me hooked.
Okay.
Here we go.
Maybe at the age of 34, I will read my first book. And if Aaron Rodgers tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm not the only one. I saw a lot of people buying this book yesterday. This is very cool. Buy the shirt at store.patmcafeeshow.com, or you can wait till tomorrow where 20% will be off the entire store because it's the NFL kickoff celebration. Now, granted, if you buy for 20% off tomorrow, not today, you are shorting the reader advocacy programs out of 20%.
Right, something to think about.
So if you're a fucking asshole reader, maybe you wait for the 20%.
Yeah.
Anyways, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate everything that happened yesterday. Can't wait for the season to get started tomorrow at Boston. Connor, you have only gotten louder and louder about your faith in Mac Jones. Mac Jones is doing interviews. He's giving out great quotes. We'll talk about him a lot today. How does it feel to know that Mac Jones does seem like a legit guy, too? Not just a football player, but he seems like he's a fucking guy. You can actually be like, oh, I'd like to be friends with that guy. That guy seems like a guy that is cool. Oh, this is going to be a cool guy to represent the Patriots if he doesn't suck, obviously.
Yeah, if he doesn't suck, which you won't, I think we can all, come to that conclusion. But yeah, it feels like I'm going into my first NFL season again. It doesn't feel like, this is year 26. It feels like this is year 1. This is a brand new team, new defense. Hightower's back. Everybody's back. It's not just Mac. It's the entire team is just like a completely new animal, new Death Star, if you will, that we haven't really seen before. Pat.
And they say new teams, they take a little bit to get together. Dolphins, they're ready to fucking do damage.
That's right.
That's right.
And remember, this is the Authority on Dolphins fan base show.
That's right.
Left tackle out.
Oh, yeah. COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
Sorry.
That'll be interesting.
Can we pull up the COVID rules, by the way, because we actually had these written out. So this is what every fan needs to realize, because I think this is going to happen throughout the season, maybe even more than last year. And we talked earlier in the week about this. Now that humans are out and about, we've all seen it, there's going to be interactions. Like, for instance, how I might have got COVID is via a delivery person, maybe a DoorDash driver, maybe somebody that walked by, a mailman maybe. Like, who knows how the hell I got it? Those situations are going to happen in a much more abundant fashion because people are going to be out and about. So although last year the guys had testing every single day and they were locked down and there was no vaccine available, and that's been a whole conversation, obviously. But there is just all this. I think it's going to be maybe a bigger impact this year on players missing. We already see Zach Martin probably going to be out tomorrow night, even though Jerry Jones said if we can produce 2 negative fucking tests for that guy. Our team is officially the most valuable sports franchise on earth. $6.9 billion. The average NFL franchise is worth $3.5 billion. My fucking team, 6.9. I'm not good at math, but that's damn near double, ain't it? That's 200% of what every other fucking guy could do, family could do, woman could do, whatever the case in ownership. My team's worth more than everybody. Hey, Manchester United just brought back fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. Cool. Did Leo Messi just go to PSG? Cool. Great for Paris. Those teams can't suck my team's dick. Couldn't hold my junk. This came out via Sportico. The top 10 most valuable NFL franchises. The Dallas Cowboys, $6.92 billion.
Damn. Jesus.
New England Patriots, $5.35 billion. Los Angeles Rams, $4.68 billion. They spent more than that on the stadium.
Oh, yeah, double.
They spent more than that on, and the projections were much less than that. I mean, that Kroenke owns like 55 teams or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he had, who knows. Giants, $4.63 billion. Niners, $4.27 billion. Washington football team with no name, although the same 8 names that were released months ago that had the 3 finalists in them were re-released via the Adam Schefter podcast the other day from Tanya?
Yes.
Yeah, Snyder.
Schneider, owner's wife.
I believe so.
Smart move by the Washington football team to get Dan the fuck out of the driver's seat when it comes to PR.
Yeah.
Hey, you've done enough. Okay.
Sit down.
You've done enough. Let's get your wife, who seems to be a very... What's that?
Well, I mean, I'm guessing she knows what Dan Snyder's been doing, so I don't know if we should just...
She might have read these exposés and learned a lot about what her husband's been up to with his little football team as well, maybe.
Yeah.
Still with him?
Yeah, she's been putting up with a lot.
Can you put the thing back up? $4.25 billion. It's not easy to get divorces whenever you are owners of something that's $4.25 billion. True. I think that is something that has happened through the past. Mrs. Bezos was able to do it. Married a science teacher, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah.
The luckiest science teacher in the goddamn planet.
They had great chemistry.
Lucky said love. What are you talking
not
about?
all about
Love.
money,
It's
dude.
about love.
Sure.
Dude.
I'm just saying.
You
he's a-
fucking scumbag.
I'm saying
I'm a better
he's a-
person than you are.
No, you're not a better person.
I am a better. I don't want to get into politics.
No.
But you're just saying the science teacher. So like, why? Because he found his love of his life.
Yeah, I'm
and
saying-
she was able to find somebody that doesn't want to, get scientists to reverse aging and actually care about her and
Yeah.
love her. Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
saying it's lucky to find love in a $63 billion purse. That's all I'm saying.
You have no idea what love is.
No, I don't. Except I love the Patriots.
Anyways, the Dallas Cowboys.
Goddamn
In
right.
the goddamn United States of America.
Hell yeah.
You ain't ever getting a divorce either with that.
I'll
Married to the game.
I'll
baby.
ride with them through 10 Dan Snyders if I have to.
What I'm saying is the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in sports. They're double the worth of the average of every other NFL team, $6.92 billion. And their best football player, they couldn't keep out of this thing. So with that being said, like COVID took out Zach Martin for the first opening game, which is going to have so many eyes on it. It's been marketed forever. The stadium's going to be filled. Tom Brady's. I mean, it's massive. And their best football player, both out of Zeke's mouth and Jerry Jones' mouth, is not available because of Uncle COVID. Let's assume that's going to continue to happen. It's happening in the Dolphins. Here are the rules. Unvaccinated players who test positive are out 10 days. That's it. That's a long time, depending upon when those 10 days start.
Yeah.
That's potentially 2 to 3 games if it's a Thursday night football game
Right.
there as well. Yeah, I think it could time out to be 3 games potentially.
On Thursday, yeah.
No. Could be 3 games, right? No.
No, yeah. 'cause
Only
if you
could be
test
2
po-
games.
Yeah,
2,
'cause you
yeah.
test positive on
Sunday,
Thursday,
Thursday.
You can miss
Yeah,
the
but isn't
next
there always
Sunday.
some team that comes out and bitches about having 3 games and it's always like 20 days or something?
that was
like
Ravens
Or like
last year.
16 days.
I guess I was gonna say
that's
like week of
'cause,
Thanksgiving maybe if you went.
Anyway, so unvaccinated players who test positive are out 2 games. Okay, let's assume it's going to be 2 games. Vaccinated players can return if they're symptom-free and produce 2 negative tests 24 hours apart from each other. Unvaccinated players who test positive are out 10 days. Regardless, unvaccinated players who are close contacts are out for 5 days.
Oh.
Remember, this is that re-entry process
Cam,
thing as
Cole
well.
Beasley.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because Cam was around anybody, but I think it's the same exact process as missing a test if you are an unvaccinated player. You will not miss time, but be subject to daily testing if you are vaccinated, because that's the rules. They're coming back into that. J.C. Tretter, the head of the NFLPA, put a tweet out yesterday. He said, last year we were able to get through the season because of daily testing, and although the vaccine, blah, 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 he laid out why the NFLPA is looking for daily testing again, so it can stop the spread or whatever. Obviously, that's what they're looking for. And then he also said, and we did not fucking say shit about the taunting penalty. Because the NFL came out and said, the NFLPA was actually the ones asking us about the taunting penalty. What a great narrative spin. And the NFLPA, once again, no PR, did not come out and fight that immediately. So it actually started making its rounds around people. And I assume a lot of people who read that think to themselves, oh, the players are the ones who didn't want taunting. So this isn't the no fun league. This is actually the players or whatever. And J.C. Tretter, the head of the thing, said in his post about the daily testing, he wanted to make sure he got clear. Also, we didn't do the taunting thing. This is all bullshit out there, which we have to remember with every piece of information we get, including contract negotiations, where numbers are at, what's happening. And that turns to the COVID Cowboy at Tone Diggs. TJ Watt, their practice started 2 minutes ago. Is he on the field? Is he flying around? Because in the middle of negotiations, he's had to hold in because you can't hold out because it's a $50,000 a day fine, basically, with the new CBA. Makes it impossible for you to not go to the building. He has gone to the building, done individual drills, but has done absolutely nothing else. People are saying if a deal isn't done, he might miss this weekend. You guys can't, with two rookies on the offensive line, and your defense is going to have to win some games. You can't be missing TJ fucking Watt. Ben Roethlisberger just said, hey, pay the guy whatever the hell he wants. The reason why I said, I want to pay cut. I want to pay cut. I want to play football with Steelers. Is so that they can pay guys like TJ. What's going on over there in Pittsburgh? Coach Tomlin was on the First Take this morning. Loved him. He said, I don't talk about numbers. All right, that ain't what my job is. I'm just doing my thing there. Tomlin's not going to be happy if he doesn't have fucking TJ Watt, the guy who gets introduced last, coming onto the field, the man who has been Defensive Player of the Year conversation the last couple of years. You guys have to keep TJ Watt, don't you? What's going on? Get the deal done in Pittsburgh already.
Tomlin did say yesterday that he is confident the deal is going to get done. So when Mike Tomlin says that, I believe in Mike Tomlin. I also believe in Seven because Seven is my savior. If Seven says that the Steelers need to pay TJ Watt, the Steelers need to pay fucking TJ Watt, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reports going around that the Steelers do not negotiate after the season starts. It's that they won't start negotiations after the season starts.
Hey,
so
don't finish it.
as long as negotiations have already started before the season.
Hey, it's like the last play of the game. Doesn't matter when the zero hits.
Exactly.
Has the play started or not? Are we doing the annexation of Puerto Rico? Is this a 75-second play? Who cares? The negotiations have already started. It doesn't matter.
It'll get done. It's just all about guaranteed money at this point. They know what the average per year has to be because everyone else has already been paid. It's going to be a little bit above Bosa. It's just what's the guaranteed money going to be and how is he getting it?
Well, so they should already know what the guaranteed money is too because Bosa's deal just got done. So they should already know that. So that's something that
this great organization has done for years and years and years. They don't guarantee past year
Oh,
one.
so this is what Aaron was saying yesterday. For a lot of things, people just do stuff because that's the way stuff has been done for a long time. He even referenced when he asked Mike McCarthy why they were doing something in the office. Oh, they've been doing this since the 80s or whatever. And Mike McCarthy was able to change. It's kind of how business is run. And you know, I think there is I don't want to say a little bit of an awakening.
Ooh.
Maybe. Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty deep. But I feel like we all have much more information now about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, we know what life could be like with a pissed off player who's very good, who could go elsewhere. Why are we going to rely on our archaic thoughts in a much different world with much different humans? Is what I would say back to the Steelers who say, we all guarantee first year. It's like, well, we're in a much different fucking time now with a lot of different medicine and examples of that fucking player's over.
Yeah.
And TJ Watt is a great player, and we've learned in our society now that we're in, like, hey, let's just keep the guy in the building. It's not easy to find a replacement for TJ. I mean, I just feel like sometimes you got to get up with the times and you can't just rely on, we've always done this. But growing up in Pittsburgh, Steelers have basically always been fucking good.
Yeah.
So it's probably hard for them to look in the mirror and be like, we need to do something completely differently, although the world is changing right in front of us in all different
Well,
ways.
say is if he does want to leave, he's under contract this year. Can franchise him next year. Can franchise him the year after that. He's with us for the next 3 years, whether he likes it or not.
Hey, he's not going to do these. He's not going to do that thing.
That's fine.
Hey, you franchise him. He's not. By the way, whenever you introduce him last, he's not getting the fans excited.
No.
Not anymore. Ben's last again.
That's what he's doing.
That's fine.
That's what he's going to do. He's just going. And outside linebacker, he's just going to walk out, maybe even to all of Pittsburgh.
He wants to go heel as long as he's getting sacks. I don't give a fuck.
No, you think he's going to get sacks if he's getting franchised
he ain't
2
playing.
years in a row? No way.
Pancake me.
No
Pancake me.
way.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Hey, listen, I'll lay down.
Don't worry.
That,
Pancake me.
the Watt family lays down for no one. And we're seeing that right now.
You're right. I mean, that's what they're doing right now.
His brother got named captain, so that's
Well, we knew that was going to happen. J.J. Watt's
No,
captain.
Unretire
No.
goddamn number for the guy.
Derek Watt is the captain of the Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
Oh, for special teams?
Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
Okay.
Hey, Derek Watt, he'll fucking quit too. You don't pay his brother.
That's right.
Hey, let him know. He
doesn't
needs to
care.
let them know, maybe. And we just went through all those coronavirus protocols the NFL has. We have one as well. You must be away for a certain amount of days, no symptoms, multiple negative tests. Ladies and gentlemen, it is great to have back in studio a man who's a survivor, a fighter, the Canadian cowboy, Bubba Gumpy. Yeah! Proud of you, bud.
What a run.
Hey, when you're on house arrest, it's a fucking nightmare, isn't it?
Well, almost probably just over a year ago, I had to go back to a country where I was locked down for a year, not being able to be here. So maybe a little PTSD.
Oh, whenever you're getting locked in that apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never think I needed a house or wanted a big house. Nah, maybe.
Yeah, if the world gets shut down again, which I don't think the humans are going to let it happen again, by the way, just from
No way.
watching around this past weekend.
this country.
I don't think that's going to happen again. I
Full
mean,
stadium.
There's going to be some doctors maybe. There's going to be some doctors maybe screaming from the mountaintops that they need to do it again. I don't think, and you can call us a bunch of fucking idiots. I don't think the idiots of us, the non-doctorates of people, I don't think they're going to go be. I don't think they're going to be signing up for that again. I don't think so. Especially to the point, like, and I hate to reiterate this, but the house I grew up in, if I was locked in that house with my parents for any amount of time, we would have actually killed each other. There's a lot of people that are thinking to themselves, I should not be teaching my kid fucking 4th grade. Okay, I look at these problems, I have no idea what they are. I'll tell them the truth. You ain't never gonna need any of this shit, kid. But the whole thing of the lockdown and the seclusion, right? I mean, you got lonely in there.
Yeah.
And then once you come back out into public, you feel like everybody's looking at you. Like, it is a weird thing to do that. Congratulations on getting
Thank you. Thank you, boys.
The beard looks phenomenal. You've been bashing it a lot. You need to relax. You have an incredible beard, dude. I think maybe you're just staring at yourself in that apartment too much. Beard looks good still. Don't worry
do
about
something
it.
you're
Way
gonna
too
regret.
much time alone with me and my brain and my beard. Never needs to happen again.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
thank you.
Well, and you do not need to shave that thing.
No.
He had a Wilson ball too.
Maybe tidy it up a little
We
bit.
watched what happened to Kelsey. Watched what happened. Did you see Dustin Johnson this weekend when he shaved his beard? Oh my God. We don't
Hey,
need.
there are. Hey,
we
listen,
don't need you on that list.
Hey, the whites. The whites have a vastly different look whenever they change their facial decoration. For instance, Ty's a completely different human right now with that mustache. It looks fantastic. I hope we keep it all year. Maybe you get tired of it though and you change it. And when he shaves that, by the way, he's going to come in and we're going to say, "Oh shit, Ty, something happened to your face." And that we can't have that happen.
No, I can't do it. I'd look like an absolute pinhead.
No!
Gumpy.
Oh, I can't.
Dude,
Just
no.
need to tidy it up a little bit.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. The haircut thing is a problem. I mean, I haven't got a haircut in like 4 weeks. This thing is getting real
Flowing.
hot.
Yeah, keep it going. Keep going.
No. We got to do something with it because it just looks like my head is just fucking running away from itself.
No.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Got
It looks like
waves
I'm
on your head.
always running in one direction, by the way. Shout out to Dana White for sending us that fight machine he said he was going to play, send, by the way. Broke a good sweat. Nowhere near as good as the Oculus virtual reality thing, but it is nice to put hands on actual things. A lot of people were judging my technique in that video.
Really?
I want to let them know I had no gloves on. There was no way I was going to punch metal.
No.
You know, from punch, everybody's like, "Yo, you're supposed to punch across." It's like, okay, you come fucking throw a right hook with the way you saw that thing was put together with metal in the back. I have no idea how deep that pad is. Let me get some gloves on. I'll start.
They'll
knocking
need
it.
you breaking both your hands on your first run on the thing.
Bingo.
You
Come
know?
on. I mean, as I was punching that thing, by the way, I was thinking to myself, I'm putting a lot of fucking faith in these pad makers.
Yeah.
Because you're staring at a massive metal thing that's going right into your hand.
It's like a tackling sled.
It
It's
really
It's a
is.
sled. I
It
mean,
is.
if you hit that thing wrong, you are going to break every single bone in your hand.
and your leg.
Yeah.
I started
Your
kicking
feet.
that thing. I almost busted a screen.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dana. It's a great workout.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Incredible.
Thing's awesome.
Shout out to you, Dana.
Thank you.
I need one.
I had a lot of people on the internet telling me that my footwork and my form was terrible. I need to use my hips. See me on one of those machines that tells you how hard that thing is.
Oh, yeah.
Catch me inside of one of those.
Catch me in a bar, all right, with one of those things on there. And I guarantee your entire crew of people is going to want to fight me because the way I'm going to walk over, do it, and I'm going to walk out. I'm going to set the course record every single time. It has literally never happened to me where I haven't walked out of one of those things with the course record. You can ask literally any human that's ever been with me. It makes no sense. It pisses people off to no end. It is not good to be in those bars. And normally, I just try to stay away from it, actually, because you know exactly what's going to happen, especially where West Virginia, you got some good old boys in some of those things.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And I got the utmost respect for the good old boys of our world. But when you got some lippers in there and some PBR flowing, and a crew has kind of staked claim on that thing, and they're all punching it, and then they celebrate, oh! And then you walk over, and you dunk on their score, and then walk away. Dressed how I normally am dressed, acting how I normally act. There's a lot of problems that normally
Oh,
happen.
you think you're pretty fucking tough, huh?
Yeah, a guy named Bearded Chubster in my Instagram comments actually say your footwork, yikes, or something like that. I'm like, hey, Bearded Chubster, I would move your face off of your body. Okay, I just want to let you know. It's just like in golf. Everybody talks about my hips or whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe I just so happen to have the quickest hip activation that there is, because these hips, by the way, explode. I punt it. Like, that is literally what you do. I'm not that flexible. I feel like my shit maybe operates a little differently. I felt really good on that machine. And I need to hear what, like, the records are on that thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, will the Oculus boxing
Translate.
and my performance in alleged drunk fights, bar fights, will that translate into a walk-in trained ring fight? Because I'm seeing some of these events and they look fucking awesome. I mean, could you imagine walking to a ring like about to fight somebody like a gladiator like that? I think I'm going to have to experience that at least one time. My wife is not happy to hear this, but this is something that I did come through COVID. I have to experience that one where you walk out. And whether it's mixed martial arts, okay, if anybody's going to get into that at some point, or if it's boxing or whatever, because I'm okay if we're going to take a little tackle, ground and pound kick game too. Like
Utilize those legs.
I'm okay with all of that. Yeah. But I think I have come to the decision. Now, this is pre any training in real life. I have to find out whether or not I'll be surprisingly good at something privately before I go public with it and put a performance on. But I think in the fight game, like the only way to do that is I got to go to a local place and just maybe get my fucking ass beat, right?
Yeah, got to
Hit me in the
spar.
face.
All right, I don't have time for that. We'll put that back a couple years. We'll put that back a couple years. We have some breaking news here 30 minutes into this beautiful Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. Carson Wentz officially playing for the Indianapolis Colts. Via Ian Rappaport, the Colts QB, Carson Wentz will be a full participant today in practice. Coach Frank Reich told reporters he'll be on the field in week 1. An impressive recovery, to say the least, rap sheet. Not only did he have that broken foot from high school that they had to do surgery on that projected him 5 to 12 weeks out, he was back in like 2 weeks somehow. No boot, no nothing, just walking around doing his thing. COVID situation is going to remain a situation, just like with Zach Martin, just like with the tackle from the Miami Dolphins and other players that this is going to happen to. But right now, I could state clearly, Carson Wentz and Colts taking field against Seattle Seahawks here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Lucas Oil Stadium sold out. Jim Irsay actually said he's adding comfortable folding chairs so he can pack more people into that fucking oil can. We are going to go bananas this weekend. And Russell Wilson's going to be wishing that they traded him to the Chicago fucking Bears whenever Darius Leonard is fucking dancing on top of him. DeForest Buckner's picking up that offensive line that Russell Wilson buried this offseason. Kwity Paye's coming off the edge. You're talking about a defense. Kenny Moe's going to be locked on.
Absolutely.
Carl Wentz just beat fucking a broken foot surgery synopsis and COVID all by his damn self. He's getting shots from Howie fucking Roseman in Philadelphia at him. Howie Roseman, stooge from Philadelphia that blew up an entire team and basically has set Philadelphia Eagles fans back into time before they even won the Super Bowl, which wasn't that long ago. Howie Roseman comes out and said, "Oh, we love Carson." Classic Ty Schmidt. We love Carson, okay? But we played 4 playoff games, and we needed our backup in every single one. It's like, whoa! That's via Mike K at Mike_A_K. He loves Jalen Hurts. He can play and he can win. And then the Carson shot across the bow. Carson had to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
So you're telling me Carson just beat that broken? Hey, you're right. He might not because he's probably out there on his Bobcat. But I'm just saying, somebody needs to relay the message to him that shots were fired from the general manager that traded you away. Same guy that paid you $100-some million just a couple years ago, by the way. Let's go ahead and know that the Indianapolis Colts clear cover this weekend over the Seattle Seahawks, especially 3-0 with me hitting the anvil at Boston. Connor was talking a little recklessly earlier today. Your thoughts on why Russell fucking Wilson's coming into this thing that they're packing more seats into with me swinging that, hopefully it's a little bit bigger this year. Well, sledgehammer. I mean, the first time I did it.
A little anvil.
I thought you had that other thing.
Take your ukulele.
Yeah, that thing to swing.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh, dude.
Ukulele. What is your deal?
I want to know if you want to play some ukulele before you hit the hammer.
Ukulele, 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 and you can pay me. I got a little guitar called a lily. When I strum it, man, the moist hits my lady. Cause a ukulele, shillelagh-lay is the thing that people be. Anyways, it's a fucking shillelagh, dude. Okay, have a little respect for the Irish.
I know what that is. I was saying you should bring a ukulele as well and do that before you hit the hammer.
No, I do believe they are going to give me the microphone, so I'm going to be cutting a promo, and I think I'm going to say exactly what I just said, but I believe Seahawks fans are saying to themselves, you think what, Russell Wilson is just Russell Wilson, and is that your thoughts?
Look, I don't know about the Seahawks, but I do know one thing, that T.Y. Hilton isn't going to be playing for the Colts on Sunday. And sure, Carl Wentz, great. O-line, great. And who knows, actually, with the whole protocols. Jonathan Taylor, the running back room, great. But they have nobody to throw the goddamn ball to. And I respect Carson Wentz and Michael Pittman with his 1 touchdown, 3 catches, and 20 yards last year. I respect it. Paris Campbell coming back wearing the number 1. It's unbelievable. But with that being said, Russell Wilson's a damn good football player. DK Metcalf, Lockett, they got some good guys. I saw Chris Carson basically doing hip-ups with like 800 pounds on his shoulders. Look,
I saw Tommaso Ciampa do it too from the NXT.
Sure, yeah, but that's one thing. The other one's going to be getting the ball from Russell Wilson. I just think, especially after what you said about the whole drama this offseason, they're going to let Russell do more than just cook. He's going to do a lot on Sunday, and I just unfortunately do not see the Colts starting off 1-0. And let's remember last year, they started with the Jaguars, and that was a layup win, and that was out. That was a 7-point spread, and
Joe Dirt
and the boys, took it to him. So
is he still on the team, by the way, that guy?
Oh yeah, I believe he got the C on his chest this year.
Joe Dirt does?
I have no idea.
I'm the best person.
No, I'm a better person than you are. And how about this? If the Colts win, I'll wear one of these little number 1 McAfee jerseys on Monday, and then if the Colts lose, why don't you throw on that Mac Jones tarp for Monday?
So you're taking the Seattle Seahawks,
yes,
for your bet for me to wear a Mac Jones.
No. You're goddamn right.
Get the man a Russ.
Patriots would have to beat win as well.
Patriots have to cover, yeah.
Oh,
have to win.
What is the spread in that game?
-3 now. I got it at 2.5, so I don't know how you want to do that.
Hey, lines are moving, by the way. It seems like whatever the line is, whenever the game kicks off. The Dolphins fans are awesome, by the way, Gumpy. I mean, we never understood how you could have been a Dolphins fan from the North left and how much you love football. Why would you choose the furthest possible team away that doesn't have any success for a long time to be your team? And you just love them. I realized on Twitter a few days ago, I guess, there's a lot of Dolphins fans out there. I had no idea that was the case. I hope the Dolphins are good. Hey, I hope the Dolphins go in there with Tua, revamped offense and everything, and take it to the Patriots. But you have a little fear, or no? You think what do you think the team's going to be like, Gumpy?
The thing about the Dolphins fans, they attack their own as well.
You got killed?
Oh, I got crushed all year last year because of Tua and Fitzy, but
it seems like they're not, I like the fact that they're not really like a reasonable bunch. I actually appreciate that. Like, I wish there was more fan bases that weren't reasonable. But for instance, like the Patriots fans, they are not reasonable at all. The Dolphins ones are not at all. But man, if you guys get smacked by the Patriots, are you automatically going to think, oh no, we suck again? Or if you get a win, are you going to say, hey, fucking A, are the Dolphins all the way back? Will there be a massive overreaction on the other side? Which there should be, by the way. I would be.
I think either way, the way the offense is set up, if the Patriots stop Tua looks like shit, they have to stick with the game plan and go with it again. Like, don't change everything. Bill, if anyone's going to stop Tua in your offense, it's Bill. And I mean, if they trade and get rid of Tua and don't give him a chance, could be a full Rob Lowe operation here.
Oh, you're just gonna put the NFL thing.
I'll be a fan of the league.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Give me the go Shield. Go Shield.
No, the Dolphins fans are going to bury you now for saying, "Oh, Gump, we've sucked since 1984." Now you're going to give up or whatever. But it does feel like as the Dolphins were taking steps forward, seemed like all hell kind of broke loose. They still got that stud defense, even though they're paying for a guy to play for the Patriots, right? Who was a veteran who got demoted by Josh Allen. That's what I was told by the Dolphins fans.
Sure.
I wonder if off the field he was doing anything maybe more as a veteran who's won a couple Super Bowls and everything like that. That's why B-Flow brought him in. But what the fuck did happen? What did happen with that situation? Have we found out?
No, it hasn't come out. But just give Tua the year. You know what I mean? Like, all this Deshaun Watson bullshit, give the guy a chance.
Yeah.
Find out in a year if he's good or not. You're in such a rush to start him last year over Fitzy. Now he's not the guy. Like, give him a year in an offense designed for him. Let's see how he does.
All right, let's get to a break. Connor, what you're saying is if the Seahawks win or cover?
If the Seahawks, they're up to 3. So we'll just say both.
Since the Carl Wentz news, he is worth half a point. It's going to -2.5.
Boom. So if the Pats and Seahawks cover the spread of 2.5, both teams,
All right.
then you got to wear the Mac Jones jersey.
Okay.
And if the Colts win or cover, I'll wear a McAfee Colts jersey.
Yeah, but like what I've realized is the McAfee Colts jersey isn't necessarily just a Colts jersey. I've seen a lot of fans of other teams wearing the McAfee Colts jersey.
Okay.
And I want to let them know I appreciate the hell out of them. And the punter is the only position that I got booed going on the field at home and cheered going on the field away.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to wear a Carl Wentz.
Yeah, you got a Carl Wentz jersey back there
Somebody
somewhere?
in this city might. I don't know, though.
I don't know how we would get one of those. We'll just tape it on. All right, so we'll change my jersey into a Carson Wentz
There we
jersey.
go.
Tape of 1
Conti will
next
get
to
us a
it.
Carl Wentz jersey.
Oh, no, he's number 2.
Yeah, so we'll just put the
What, he's not 11?
No, Pittman's 11.
Michael
I forgot.
Pittman Jr. Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Fucking touchdown scorer, dude. Have a little respect.
That's right.
I heard this morning on Good Morning Football,
That's
Yeah, he did. More touchdowns than D-Hop.
DeAndre Hopkins. Okay? That's fantasy advice you can't get anywhere else.
That's right.
goddamn right.
Who said
Who's
that?
having more touchdowns than DeAndre?
I believe it was
Pittman.
K, which we are fans of K, so I didn't want to
It
necessarily.
wasn't Mike Bob that said it?
I don't think it was Mike Robinson, no. Which, by the way, unbelievable. They do have a segment called Hammer Time, though.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think they got Feel Good Friday.
What's it called?
ESPN does too now.
Hammer Time.
Hammer time.
Time.
They got a guy with a beard on there, pal.
Yeah.
Nah, don't fucking start with this shit
Hey,
again.
no, hey, your artificial guy
Stinks.
survived COVID,
He
too.
stinks.
That's right. That's right.
I got the digital antibodies, pal.
That was not actually Gumpy, though, for those that are new. Yeah.
Wait.
That was not Gumpy. No, that was
Are you
fake
sure?
Gumpy.
I thought that was real company.
No, that was deep fake Gumpy. And it's nice to know that deep fake Gumpy did survive COVID.
True. I was worried about
Yeah,
that.
they got Hammer Time over here.
It's a good segment.
Time! What if they do start yelling at him?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
We didn't create that, by the way.
Oh,
I mean, Hammer Dahn.
feel good Friday.
I did start swinging the hammer before everybody else. It's
right there.
Yeah, it was right here. It's broken. This thing's been through a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you broke that.
Sad day.
Yeah,
But I think my luck actually changed, too. My luck changed that day, too. But we taped it up and we got a shillelagh now.
Yeah, don't hit that thing too hard on your desk. You'll fucking break it in two.
What if we watch Good Morning Football and they're like with a shillelagh? They just got like a big shillelagh out there.
Well, they have the scepter.
Oh, yeah.
Angry
So I'm
runs.
potentially...
No, I wouldn't say.
Hey, Angry Runs, by the way, survived off of taunting, didn't it? I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
You run over 5 people, make it on a Kyle Brandt's Angry Run segment, which was a beautiful segment, by the way. Love
Yeah.
Kyle Brandt. Love Good Morning. Actually love Good Morning.
Watch it every day.
This is not bullshit. But a lot of that, how are you not going to flex on the 4th guy that you run over?
Uh-huh.
And
Can't do it.
And the ref's going to be like, yeah, is that fun? Take back all those yards. Take them all back, pal. We ain't doing it. Let's see how that's policed, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully better than targeting.
All right, we're back in 4 minutes. That has to change.
Yeah.
That has to fucking change.
Immediately.
But how? They'll say how. How do we write down that we take it out of the ref's hands so that a decision isn't made in a national championship game where one of the star players is unjustly disqualified
Yeah.
or banned, and then all of a sudden the sport's better. Everybody's like, whoa,
Wait a minute, yeah.
we're putting on the dipshit refs thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you fix it.
Bring in Coach JB. Let him police it.
Smart.
All right, 4 minutes on the other side. We're heading to the phone lines. We got Chuck Pagano in hour 2, AJ Hawk as well. Hopefully his internet will be back. Probably not, though. It's been a problem for 2 years. Let's assume that will continue. 1-833-4 McAfee. Can't wait to chat with you then. See you then. Better than you? No. I'm a better person than you are.
No.
Yeah.
I fed the birds this morning, so I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah, but you don't care about, the ozone as much as I do. So do you even like to breathe? That means you don't even like the birds. You don't want the birds to be able to breathe or fly because you want the ozone to be ruined because you're a fucking asshole.
Is that right? Then how come I rollerblade to the supermarket every Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, did that make you feel good? Rollerblading, flattening the earth a little bit closer to the center so it can get hotter so then the heat comes from the ozone because you're pressing down the earth with your little rollerblades?
Well, yeah, but
I'm a better person than you are.
No, because on Wednesdays I'm planting trees and I'm trying to bring the earth back to what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're cutting up other trees' roots, though. What a fucking
right.
asshole.
Whoa.
You
No,
prick.
yeah.
Why can't you just let Earth be the way it's be? You got to take your shovel and dig into it? Wow. I'm a better person than you are.
I know,
dude.
I make my own manure, I make my own soil. I'm not chopping up any other
Oh,
roots.
so you don't like cows. You don't like cows pooping.
I hate farmers.
Unbelievable. You hate farmers. Oh, you don't like a head of cows. Oh, you don't like burgers?
Then how come I'm in the Farmers Association of America and I'm going to help?
Oh, you're a lifetime member of the FFA. Hey,
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I make. I'm a better person than you are.
No, you're not. I'm a better person than you are.
That's politics, baby. That's what we just did right there. Let's get to the phones. Once again, I think we batted 1,000.
Boom.
In politics with what we just did right there.
How about that?
I do believe after that argument, though, people would say I was a better person than fucking you are, dude.
No, because everyone I just read on Twitter was like, oh my God, this guy rollerblades. I need to start doing that too.
No, that's because you mute all the other people that are actually on my side. They're telling you you're not the right person.
No, I refuse to mute anybody because I love everybody.
Oh, you're like freedom of speech. How come then you're not going to listen to everybody? Wow.
I do love freedom of speech. That's why I'm not muting
I'm
anybody.
better
What are
than
you
you
talking
are.
about? No, I'm better than you are.
Everybody's saying it.
No.
Yeah, everybody's saying I'm a better person than you are.
I heard it.
We just did, by the way, still batting 1,000 on politics. I feel so good about it. We even got into the reaction to the punditry.
Yes.
We're batting a fucking 1,000 out there.
Every side.
The people say we're not well-rounded. We don't have depth. Did you hear what we just fucking did? Come on. Wow. Let's go to the phones, man. He walks all the way up.
Holy
Sleep! This is not the one that I saw.
Oh, good.
Oh, my God. Can we go back to the beginning, please? Listen, go back to the beginning. This guy, pause. That guy was sitting one section over in this blue polo shirt-wearing son of a bitch who's here with his friend, by the way. Right here. They're just having a good old day at the ballpark. Old buddy in the glasses back here. Oh, this has been fun. Look at this guy up here with the wife is maybe, the wife and the guy up there. They're kind of intrigued to see what's going on. Padres guy said, hey, listen, I've been locked in my fucking house for 13 months. I'm going to come to a ball game, and you're going to say dumb shit? I don't think so, pal. He walks over, 45 yards, casually, eyes ready to go, not fists ready to go, though. Just outside, no, calm. What you got a fucking problem, pal? People smiling down here. They know something's about to happen. We got a camera out. We would like to see the alternate angle from this particular person. But what a moment here. We beat COVID. We are back. Old buddy here needs to watch out for right hooks. Bow! Buckled. What, bitch? He said. What? And then he gets tackled by everybody else, backpedals. Everybody watches this happen. What a Jeez. What? He says. What, dude? What? What? Damn. Oh, my. What was said by who? Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back to that show here on this beautiful Wednesday, September 8th. First hour flew by.
Oh, yeah.
We're 45 minutes in. Can't thank the people that listen and watch every single day enough. I don't know why you do, but we appreciate the hell out of it. Hopefully we do some stuff that can hopefully make you pass the time of whatever the hell you're being forced to do and listening to us in the background for it.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, people.
Thank you, people.
Love you,
Thank
people.
you, guys and gals.
Yeah, and the fake guys and gals that are watching, we appreciate them too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's
Thanks,
probably
Paul.
children. Oh, there it is. And deep fakes that are watching.
Right.
We appreciate them. Let's get to the 5-Hour Energy phone line to hear what the people are thinking, what they want to talk about. Carson Wentz starting this weekend is a huge deal.
Yeah.
It is.
You go back a couple weeks ago, there was
yeah.
no thought of this. Hey, is it going to be Jacob Eason or Sam Ellinger? Oh, wait, are they going to trade for Nick Foles? Nick Foles cut a promo at a press conference for the Bears about being third-string quarterback in practice and dicing people up while also saying, like, we all saw what happened when Frank Reich was my quarterback coach. There was conversations about Nick Foles getting, with his $80 million contract, okay, we just picked up Carson Wentz's fucking $100 million contract, with us trading for Nick Foles because Carson Wentz was potentially going to be out for 4 to 5 weeks of the season, and Nick Foles knows Frank Reich's off. That was a real conversation happening on a lot of shows.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are the Colts in trouble now that they potentially have to trade for another quarterback? And that's what was being said. Then Frank Reich came on and was like, everybody fucking relax, basically. Then as we've seen this unfold, Carson Wentz starting this weekend. The last thing we saw him do on a football field, I think, actually, was him throw that 75-yard Pythagorean theorem ball.
Right.
I haven't seen anything else from him in practice.
Is Big Q playing?
That's what I was going to ask.
I hope so.
Yeah, you better.
I ain't wearing that Mac Jones shirt.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Nah, not my Dolphins playing against you.
True.
Seahawks 1-4-1 against the spread their last 6 week ones.
Ooh, how about this about the Colts? Haven't won a season opener since 2013.
Fade them both.
But the Anvil, we're good.
The Anvil, though, is 3-0.
Cancels it out.
Something's got to give.
It's going to be a battle.
Something's
Gotta give. I feel like, I should at least help the Colts a little bit if I have that microphone. I should remind that offensive line of what Russell Wilson's team said.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Pete Carroll, I should let him be reminded of what Russell Wilson's anonymous quotes people were saying.
Yeah.
Can't not remind them.
I mean, there's no way the Colts want me to do that.
This is Russell's team,
sure
not
remind-
Pete's team.
Make sure you remind Pete that he's 1-6 against the spread in week 1.
This team,
The Seattle Wilsons.
Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson trying to run you out of town, pal. Wasn't that long ago this team we're playing against. Imagine if I did that. Jim Mercer, brother, you can't. I mean, why'd you? We're putting in folding chairs for more people to come in here. One of them was Goodell. He heard what you said. Let's go to Jose in Indiana on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Jose, what's going on, pal?
Hey, what's up? Shout out, boys. Happy NFL football eve.
Oh, hey, happy NFL game day eve, pal. Excited to have you on here. Remember, go to 5hourenergy.com, use promo code McAfee, get 10% off your order of all the greatest energy shots on earth.
I will.
Yeah, boy, Jose. What do you want to talk about, man?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to you and Gump for kicking Uncle COVID in the mouth just like you did. That dude, Adam Cole.
Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Took me a lot longer to dig up, by the way.
Nah.
Yeah, speaking of stooges and sellouts, I'm kind of curious on why Tampa Connor, keyword Tampa, is so excited about Mac Jones when his team clearly plays tomorrow.
Taking on the shins on the phone.
Got it.
That's every call.
Yeah.
Every call.
8 in a row.
What is the deal?
Good
What'd
God.
you do to Mitt?
Yeah, he's Mitt back there going, hey, remember, if you want a good win is just bury Connor.
Yeah.
Get a good pop out of everybody if you just bury that guy.
I mean, I would think Mitt would do that, but he is already on cloud 15. I think it's just more so people are bummed that the Pats are already back.
Yeah, I think that is the case. They're trying to get their shots in when they can because they're staring down, I think, what they saw for the last 20 years, potentially.
Yes, especially after last year. A lot of dancing on the grave last year, and now all of a sudden we've rose from the dead. It's a bummer for the NFL. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a bummer, huh? Yeah. All right, I'm a better person than you are. Let's go to Juan in Texas. What's going on, Juan, on the 5-Hour Energy phone line? What's up, dude?
Juan!
Different Juan.
Yo, Connor's the most corniest motherfucker.
Bring it in. I want more. Make them better. Corny. What are we in 5th grade? Bring something to the table, you clowns.
That's true, actually.
Hey, listen, I respect your shot back there. I did hang up on one immediately after.
Really? Oh.
Well, it was a good call. Got a good pop quick. Like, hey, one. There's no. Hey, listen, I don't know where you're headed after this, but we need not to hear it.
Eclipse it.
We don't need to hear it. That was a great call, one. I don't understand what's going on though. It is.
I get it. Are you kidding?
It's because the Patriots are potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, my insufferability is rising at an alarming rate right now.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not just you, by the way. It's all massholes, I think.
Yeah.
You just so happen to be one of the representatives of said group on this show that has a pretty active fan base. Let's go to Eric in Boston. Eric?
I mean, that doesn't help me either.
What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Eric, what's going on, man?
I want to give a shout-out real quick. Welcome back, Pat and Gumpy. Nice job on COVID. Kicked it right in the mouth.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout-out to AJ, Foxy, Jay. Thank you, Mitt, for answering the phones. Zito, CFO Phil, happy birthday, Billy Tubes.
Belated.
And then I want to give a shout-out to, a little late, Nick Sirianni and Connor's Lettuce.
Okay.
Oh,
hey, you're back.
I don't know. It's kind of the hair, not me, but.
Doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck?
Two different entities.
People used to tell me, like, oh, the only reason why I hang out with you is because you have money. Like, well, I do. So what do you want me to do? Like, hey, like, how do you want me to change this?
True.
Like, okay, thanks for the compliment, I guess.
It is what it is.
I don't know how to change that, pal. So if you get a compliment on your hair, it's a fucking compliment to you, pal.
Take it in stride.
Because you could have other hair, especially after the last 10 calls. It's like, let's go. Eric, we appreciate you. We cut you off there a little bit before you got to your full point. We appreciate your fandom, though. What do you want to talk about?
No worry, brother. I got to give him I got to have his back a little bit as a fellow Nassau. Burying him. Also, big shout out, Hammer fucking Dahn.
Dahn. It's Hammer Dahn.
Hey, so Pat, I got a question. I had a question for AJ, but I'll call back another time when he's on.
Thanks.
I actually had dinner at Gillette Stadium where the Patriots play this past weekend. My wife works right there in the area.
That's really
and I ended up sitting next to a guy who was an employee of the Patriots. He wouldn't tell me if he worked at the actual stadium or the Patriots, but he did confirm he's been on the field and inside for every training camp practice. And he said that there is a strong feeling of every employee, player, and anybody in that building that Mac Jones is going to throw for more touchdowns than any rookie this year.
Okay, so Eric could be complete full of shit. That guy could be from Jersey. He says he's from Boston, says he sat with a Patriots employee because his wife works in Patriot Place, I believe, at one of the stores or something like that Robert Kraft owns that makes him the second most valuable.
Right.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it is unbelievable business up there when you win. I couldn't even imagine if the Cowboys win what that thing's going to be worth, by the way. They haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's how much they're worth. Imagine if they were to actually win.
Win a Super Bowl,
That'd be unbelievable. But I guess everybody in New England, according to Eric, has bought into the fact that Mac's unbelievable. And it's hard not to whenever you see the clips and hear the conversations. And now that we're reading some quotes and hearing some quotes from Mac Jones, it seems like he's a cool dude as well.
Yeah.
Like, you got to remember, this guy was a backup for 4 years in college, but his teammates all loved him.
Yeah.
He bought into his role. I assume he was slicing and dicing in practice, just like every Alabama practice that happens. Probably is that footage is probably unbelievable.
Talking shit to Saban.
Yeah, like everything that he has done. I think it is. Obviously, he did get arrested for an alcohol charge.
Which
by the way, makes me appreciate him even more. I'd like that everybody. And I think in Boston, they're like, okay, so guy has a couple pops. Guy has a couple pops as well. He was a child when that whole thing happened. So, but once we started hearing some quotes, like today he had some quotes released, and I don't know who he was talking to. Mac Jones on Merlone Euphoria. On if he was surprised to be a starter. Not really, Like I always say, I prepared to be the starter, and I had a chance to get a lot of reps, so nothing really changes. Later added that they both helped each other, and he learned a lot from Cam Newton. That is via Ryan Spagnoli. A couple Pisons for you in there as well. But everything he says, it just gives off the impression that, this is like a 55-year-old guy. This seems like somebody who is very mature for his age. He's going to a team that is very invested, a team that is known to have success, even if their roster wasn't great. They still won. Last year, that roster was terrible.
So bad.
Okay, and it only got worse as they continue to pull players who have a little bit of injuries and say, like, hey, it's not worth you. Just stop playing, basically. Bill Belichick's going to win games by his goddamn self. Now it feels like he does have a guy who seems like a legit dude, cool dude, and a hell of a football player by all accounts, including Eric in Boston, whose wife works at Patriot Place.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, especially for quarterback, I feel like is being able to have accuracy, because you can't really teach that. That's not something all of a sudden you're just going to pick up when you get to the NFL, is become a super accurate quarterback.
Yeah, but in that first preseason game, he overthrew, guy.
That's true. That's true.
Is that a sign of what we're going to see in regular season? Because once the lights go on and the paycheck goes up, will Mac Jones be able to handle it? Never played in a big situation before.
No, never. Still waiting to see that. And Gunnar Olszewski is our 5th wide receiver, but fair.
But we all hope that the Patriots aren't going back to where they once were. But
with that being said,
I fear it might be the case. We'll see you in 6 minutes. Hour 2 is on the other side.
Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay. So let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
You can backtrack with it.
No,
it's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. Oh, yeah. When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. The way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. That had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. The season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson. And I think, without a doubt, those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him. And it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died.
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People have those moments.
That's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. It's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
I was on a team that was very bad at football. We almost were completely defeated until Dan Orlovsky showed up and got 2 big wins. We ended up almost losing the luck pick because Dan Orlovsky, everybody thinks they're going to get fired. Every player thinks they're going to get cut. Every coach thinks they're going to get fired. They try to pawn blame off on other positional groups. If it's the linebackers, they're like, we did our job. D-line can't do anything, can't stop it. There's a lot of that chatter, but it's a miserable existence. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's why you have to have so much respect for a player like Joe Thomas, who played a perennial all-pro career in a situation that was so negative and so terrible. I think if Joe Thomas got a chance and his knees let him experience a winning organization, I couldn't even fathom what Joe Thomas would have thought. I mean, life is just much better whenever you win. When you win, food tastes better. Drinks taste better. Sex feels better. Everything is better when you win. Winning cures all, they say. That's not just in the building and for a football team. That's in your life. Everything is just better when you win. And when you lose, especially when you're talking about some of the most competitive humans on earth, it is a nightmare. You got a lot of people trying to jump off the ship. You got a lot of people trying to figure it out. And whenever you're in a situation like that, it's just a full-blown nightmare for everybody. You got to think, when you get to the NFL, let's assume that the humans that make it to the NFL have had a lot of success through their lives. High school football, probably one good player, a guy who's going to make the NFL can lead a team to success. In college, if you have a couple good players that can make the NFL and make it to the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins stink, you're still going to make the NFL. Let's assume that team has had success. So then you get to a completely unsuccessful operation, a completely defeated operation, and then it's like, man, this is a whole new life for us. I'll never forget, I had a coach, special teams coach. I won't say his name because this is a terrible thing to say as a coach. We lost the game. It was back in the first regime. We were a good team. We lost the game, and everybody was moping. Like people were not happy that we lost the game the next day. He was, you guys just haven't lost enough. That's what he said. Everybody looked at him and was like, yeah, no crap. What are you talking about, dude? Yeah, this is the winningest decade in NFL history here. Yeah, you haven't lost enough. It's like, you've lost too much, maybe. Are you just comfortable at this point? And that's whenever it can get a little scary. Whenever people are just comfortable just getting their asses kicked every week, that could be a problem. That's when the culture is probably a lost cause. That's when the locker room's too worried about playing dice or playing Boo-Ray or anything else like that. When that starts happening after losses, then you know you're in a bad spot. And I would assume that's not happening at the Dolphins, especially under Ryan Fitzpatrick's watch. But maybe it is. I don't know. But that is a miserable existence. I am not a fan of that.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. That is a great question Connor just asked off air. Do we have any update on where TJ Watt is in Pittsburgh Steelers practice that's happening right now? Hour 2 begins right after that little beat drop that just happened from our guy Twine, joining us from Manatee, Ohio, hopefully with better internet service than he normally has. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Yeah!
What are you wearing there? Is it cold up there?
It's like a nice fall day. Is it like that in Indy? It feels awesome outside.
It does. It's starting to get to that point where you wake up in the morning and you just do a football.
Yeah.
It's a little brisk. It's a little brisk, and you're just starting to feel it. You don't sweat automatically. I've actually worn jeans the last 2 days. It's felt good to get back out there. Also, cowboy boots. I mean, let's not.
Yeah.
How about it? Is that what you had on yesterday when you kicked that thing?
I had on my Cayman
black ones.
I had on my Cayman Crocs.
Is this a conscious decision or is this subconscious?
What's that? That I'm a COVID cowboy now?
Yes.
Well, also, I went through my closet a couple times during the COVID cave thing, and I just saw him staring at me, and I was like, I remember what Cowboy Willie Johnson told me about. These boots are a good pair of boots. They don't deserve to just be collecting dust. And also, I'm like 4 inches taller when I wear these things.
Might as well.
And when I walk, it's like a present. You hear me coming. You know what I mean? So maybe I become a cowboy boot guy. I am not the COVID cowboy, though. There's only one particular COVID cowboy. There's a Canadian cowboy down here. But, I love the boots, AJ. This is not what we saw you, though, just like an hour ago.
Yeah, you had something else on.
Yeah, like full suit on with like a Jim Tressel sweater vest on.
Yep.
Buckeye suit.
Yeah, he did. With the little thing.
Ohio State
Buckeye
pin.
suit. Yeah, he did.
There.
Go OSU. And then an OHIO pin on the
Was
other
there American
side.
flag pin or no?
There was no American flag. I guess he's not running for president. But
Was he at one of those events he said he never goes to?
Bingo! That was exactly what it was. How was the event, dude? Did we shake hands? I didn't know there was like an early afternoon thing that you could potentially go to in these high society world that you live in, AJ Hawk. How was the handshaking?
So it was not an event, and obviously letting you know I was going to this thing before the show was a mistake. I apologize now. Just because I was going with General Bob Carpenter, Bobby and I met a couple guys for lunch at a place because it was like an auction item at one of our old coaches' charity events. So we went and had some lunch and then just came back here.
What did you guys eat? Did you guys have a little pizza or was it like steak and shrimp cocktail?
So, okay, I do have to tell you about Bob. So I didn't ask him if this is okay to tell it, but we sat down at 11
I mean, he told a story about MCDC from 45 years ago.
We sat down to eat lunch at 11, and we're sitting down, and they bring like a drink menu, and Bob's looking at it, he goes, ooh, no, it's too early for that. He goes, I'll just have an old fashioned.
What was it?
That's what I said. Like, no one else. I was like, so what did you turn down, Bob? If an old fashioned is at 11 o'clock, but what's too early for this? And so, like, I guess maybe he was going to rail a couple shots tequila. I don't know.
I love, though, that, for me, when I'm around General Bob Carpenter, I'm just listening, observing, having a good time. But if I was to be around him ever again, I would view him the same way you do. Every word that's coming out of his mouth, I want to know how we got to this point. So as soon as that guy said, oh, it's too early for that, I'll take an old-fashioned, everybody else was like, oh, okay, old-fashioned is good. And you immediately, before any words came out of his mouth, you were excited to hear how his brain was going. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, you nailed it. Spot on.
Yeah. I mean, that guy, what an electric factory. I mean, what a maniac. Absolute maniac, but what a human. I can't believe you guys are all in the same linebacker room. Let's talk about the NFL kicking off tomorrow, AJ. And congrats on going to a hoity-toity event before 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's unfucking believable.
Well done.
The level of greatness you must achieve to get invited to the daytime Yuppie Fest.
Up there.
Oh, my
Oh, yeah.
God. You don't, the daytime ones, because you actually, see, you can't just leave to go to sleep. You got to, see and hang. And,
Yep.
I mean, that's unbelievable. But tomorrow, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now -8.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. Last episode of Hard Knocks was on last night. Seems like Mike McCarthy and Dak love each other, by the way. From the first episode of Hard Knocks, I'm just busting your fucking balls, dude. Mike McCarthy to Dak. To this last episode, and I didn't watch a couple in the middle. Okay?
Nice time.
I tried. I didn't watch. The big thing I noticed last night was the relationship between Dak and Mike. It's felt like they were, Dak, I think finally maybe understood what a yinzer is. Oh, I can tell this guy to go fuck himself. I can, the relationship that I can have with Big Mike is probably much different than it was with Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
I would just assume at this particular point. I think that's a big deal for the success of the Dallas Cowboys going forward. I think the Cowboys will obviously be much better than they were last year when they lost out on Dak Prescott. But I still do not think the 1.5 the point change from yesterday is telling me not to just completely hammer the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tom's big debut in front of the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans. Am I wrong in thinking that, or do you think we should? And by the way, I'm not the only one. It feels like it is a full wagon in this room that is feeling that way. Are we wrong in thinking that, AJ? You did predict the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl last year.
I don't think you're wrong in predicting it, because I think there's so much up in the air for the Dallas Cowboys. How is Dak going to look? How is the O-line going to be? I don't know. What is the defense going to be improved with Dan Quinn there? So, but 8.5, you don't see lines this big, do you, very often?
That's the biggest of the weekend by far, and it'll probably be the biggest for the first couple weeks. And what I just said was probably complete bullshit, because I did not look at the schedule for week 2.
No, but you're right.
But it's probably
For week 1, you're right.
8.5 is very large. I mean, 8.5 is a very large spread, but I think it's because even if their defense was a known good defense, okay, that offense is going to score. They are going to go. And without Zach Martin, which Zeke and Jerry have come out and said, our best player, hey, that's our best fucking guy. Not just offensive lineman, that's our best guy. I think that's a big deal. Just like I thought it was a big deal when Yonda left Baltimore, and it turned out to be if you have a staple offensive lineman. Now, Leo Collins and Tyron Smith are back, and they didn't play. And I understand that's awesome, but I think that's a much bigger deal than anybody. Right in the middle of the pocket with that coming back, no clue what to do. I just feel like there's no line that they can get to that I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm not hammering the buck. Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones,
O.J. Howard,
Cam Brate,
Giovanni Bernard. They somehow got
Scotty
him.
Miller.
And by the way, Tom fucking Brady.
Yeah.
And then on the defensive side, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, Jason Pierre-Paul, an entire secondary that was young is now older and has won a Super Bowl. With Todd Bowles just getting an extension and another year in that system, it just feels like, and then Devin White. I mean,
David.
It just feels like, Levant, it feels like that they can make that thing fucking 12, 13, and I would not even.
Nope.
I honestly believe it's going to be a blowout, but it's the NFL, and that never happens. So I feel like we're going to sound stupid on Friday whenever we're reacting to the Thursday game, but just nothing in me says Tampa's not going to just absolutely dominate here. Probably, by the way, not just Cowboys. That could have been a lot of teams put in that place. It just so happens to be the Cowboys. You know, AJ?
Well, Tampa should absolutely dominate. They should, but I guess the only question I would have, if you see Dallas finding a way or a chance to scratch their way into it, let's say Tampa comes out, first game of the year, they just have a slow start. They stumble out of the gates, as they like to say on TV.
Which can happen.
Yes,
and
that
has
does
happened.
happen. Maybe an early turnover is bad. Maybe bad special teams, turnover, something like that happens. Is Dallas good enough to capitalize on that? Because the Bucks eventually are going to turn it around. Like, they may play bad for 2.5 quarters. They can turn on the juice and put 21 on the board quick.
Dallas is a blockbuster as well. I mean, they are star-studded on the offensive side. Zeke looks like he's in the best shape he's ever looked. Zeke's a hell of a ball player. They got Amari Cooper out there. CeeDee Lamb is running routes. I mean, Dak Prescott is an absolute stud. Mike McCarthy has had a lot of success in the past with his offenses and adapting and everything like that. So I don't think that we should be viewing this as we don't think the Cowboys can be good. I just think with the way Tom Brady is, who's a naturally emotional player, he is. You saw him. We're watching the highlight of the Super Bowl here where it wasn't ever close.
Nope.
No.
I think in the moment we were maybe, while we're watching the Super Bowl, like, oh, it feels like maybe Kansas City can get back in this strictly because we wanted to live bet, I think, Kansas City and maybe take some money because it was the last football game of the year. But that game score-wise was never close. You look down at the score of that game, I'll go do a call, I'll come back, and the lead has spread even more. And I remember watching that Super Bowl thinking that maybe the Chiefs would get back into it because there's a couple plays, I think, where the drop passes, maybe it was touchdown, but the score was nowhere near close. And they said they were only going to get better. Tom Brady's in Tyrann Mathieu' face at certain different times in the middle of that game, and who knows what he said. They had their moment. They're past it now. I think everybody appreciates Tyrann Mathieu and Tom for that exact reason, by the way. So they're past it. But his first time in front of Tampa, like, I think that also means something. And I think him saying on that stream, I would give up 2 Super Bowls to have that undefeated season back. Like, I just think, like, there's so much reasoning behind, I believe, that they're not going to stumble out of the gates, even though it seems like some team does every year. And we're like, well, what's going on with this team? And the Patriots and Tom have done that in the past. So that's why, I guess that's why I was gambling, baby. But I'm fucking shillelaghing the shit out of the goddamn Bucks tomorrow, no matter what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, obviously, Dak is a stud, but there's got to be something with this being his first game back, right? Yes. Like, don't you think? I mean, with how horrific that injury was, like, it's going to take him a couple weeks to be.
He sat out a lot in training camp.
Right.
So, but I guess the same pitch, though, if I was as passionate about the Cowboys as I am about the Bucks, would say Dak coming back. Like, I guess that could also be a positive.
Chip on his shoulder, like he wants to prove everybody that he deserves that contract, that he is, he is the guy. So, yeah, you could say he's more motivated than ever.
Yeah, so I guess there's a good pitch there. And Jerry Jones said this is David versus Goliath, though. So whenever I hear Jerry Jones, who is always selling his team being great, even when they are obviously not going, yeah, man, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I think that is... There's a buzzsaw happening in Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa's offense is great. Like, I think they have weapons all over the place. I think it's going to be great. Their defense, though, was potentially the worst in the NFL last year. And they bring in Dan Quinn, but Tom's seen Dan Quinn's cover 3 a lot throughout the years.
Yeah, I think he knows exactly who is potentially going to be open. And by the way, it might be our 5th option. Who's that? Scotty fucking Miller.
Yeah.
The thought that stadium is going to be so loud should be a real one too. Tampa Bay Lightning fans, loudest arena in the NHL, right? That's what they say that place was?
Oh, yeah.
Loudest place in the Energy Center, I think is what it's called. Who the fuck knows? I was there, it was beautiful. But they said it was a very...
Amelie.
Who?
Is it Amelie? Amelie Arena?
Maybe, yeah. Shout out to Amelie, by the way.
Shout out Amelie.
Is it the Amelie Center? Or who knows? One place was a center.
No, let's get to the bottom of this. Come on.
Well, I was cutting one of those promos, and I called the place the wrong name. So, I mean, you lose everybody.
It's the Amelie.
Okay, it's the Amelie? Whatever the case. Tampa was where I stayed overnight at the in a hotel room.
That's right. Oh, yeah. That is right.
That was a wild night.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're fans. Okay, that particular group of people down there in Tampa Bay are a rowdy bunch. They are a loud bunch. They are a great fan base of people bunch. And now they have reason, yet again, like they did way back in the day, to be like massholes. They have reasons to lose their minds. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans that we didn't really get a chance to see last year at all, Super Bowl was split between obviously cardboard. Remember, there was a time in our history where they were telling us how many cardboard cutouts would be in stadiums.
That's right.
And before he thought it was a cardboard cutout, so it could be you. Could be you for 10,000. There'll be 12,000 Tampa fans, and then there'll be 10,000 first responders or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think like the Buccaneers fans, just like Bills Mafia, by the way, with what they can potentially do up in Buffalo. I don't think Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans have gotten to lose their mind. With that atmosphere, how it's going to be, once things potentially start rolling, if it goes another way, I mean, this thing could get ugly. That's why I think I'm just so much like, I'll bet the 8.5, 9.5, whatever the fuck they want to make it.
Well, yeah, I would imagine if you're the Cowboys, think if you fall behind early, like the place is going to be on fire pregame. We know that. And then once it starts, if Tampa can, let's say Tampa takes the ball and Tom just marches down the field, like not a big play, just marches down the field and they put 7 up like Dallas isn't even there. Then I guess we're going to really see what Dallas is because, man, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
That place will be so loud.
So loud. Just because, like, oh, my God, this is what it's going to be like for the foreseeable future.
And you have some guys, too, that are playing on your offense that have not played with really crowd noise yet in a game.
Yeah, a couple young guys, which maybe – but that should be talked about both sides. Now, a lot of guys playing in the NFL come from college atmospheres that are probably louder than most NFL stadiums, to be honest. I mean –
yeah.
That's something. But it is different. Communication is going to be much different for some players and some teams. Obviously, everything's different than last year. So it is a first time in there. Just the thought of that Tom run, though.
Yes.
That first, I mean, immediately off the let's fucking go thing. It's going to be with cannons actually firing off.
Raising a banner.
Oh.
The whole thing.
Teams have lost.
Absolutely.
Yes. Teams have lost
Brady.
before. Brady. The Eagles, I think, they got booed out of their stadium on banner night. They got at halftime. They were getting booed into the locker room at banner night. This is a much different animal, though. I think. Honestly,
this is like taking the Cowboys would be like taking Miami against Alabama. Like, oh shit.
Oh,
we forgot.
5 minutes in this game, like,
of course.
Oh shit, I forgot. Like,
that tweet that Connor put out, like, hey, there is literally 55 NFL guys on that one team sideline right there. And just because we didn't know the name of the goddamn quarterback, we thought something was going to be different. And Miami was getting hyped as maybe they're going to top Clemson for the ACC, which maybe.
Who knows?
I mean, who knows in that whole thing. But Alabama's, that same situation is potentially set up. There is the recipe, the ingredients for the recipe for the regret bet.
Yes.
Is there tomorrow night. Because both ways, by the way, of course it's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's NFL. It's opening game. They're not going to let this thing get a blowout.
You got to go back to
fucking hate gambling, dude.
Well, with what Clyde said. I mean, Tom Brady called him the day after they won the Super Bowl, already talking about what they need to do for next season. It just feels like the preparation, everything. There's no way you can, warrant betting on Dallas plus 8.5.
Unless you're a Dallas.
Unless you're Cowboys.
Right. Unless you're a diehard.
But does it feel too good, though? Does it feel like they have too much going for them?
Sometimes
Where you're almost nervous for them because it's set up like, of course, they're going to cakewalk everybody.
Yes, by the way. That is just the fact that we are everybody.
It makes me nervous.
Yes.
It makes me nervous for them when I hear like everything laid out. Like, what are you of course we're winning it all this year. I'm like, all right, got a long season, bud.
But we have to acknowledge that there are times when the entire wagon is going in the same direction and it wins and nobody even talks about it because it was an obvious win. The only time it ever gets talked about is whenever the entire wagon is on something and then it loses. It's always the classic, like you see it with the sports predictions, the pundit pre-show where everybody does that. That gets in there. You only really hear about it whenever it loses. And we are setting ourselves up to be run back on a Dallas Cowboys video about how everybody thought we were going to lose. It's going to come to us like, you are irresponsible with your cash if you bet on the fucking Dallas Cowboys to win this game. Like, they will actually piece that part right there and put it in there. But it's real. I don't know how we don't do it.
You let your money die with Tom Brady and the Bucs. I mean, I can put my head down at night knowing if the Cowboys surprise the Bucs, fucking good on them. But I can't live with myself betting on Dallas.
Hey, and by the way, it doesn't even have to be your money with FanDuel's free bet.
Bingo. Hell yeah. Bingo.
Everybody on earth getting a free bet that's available to utilize mobile sports betting in their state legally. And if you don't have mobile sports betting in your sport legally, FanDuel said, let's get... I guess we can give everybody else the free stuff. Oh, daily fantasy free entry into the $4 million total prize pool, $1 million top prize happening tomorrow night on FanDuel. I mean, the boys have already entered their teams.
Big time.
I mean, there's a projected over $100 million loss for FanDuel this first week with free bets for everybody that is 18 plus in a legalized state and free daily fantasy entry into a $1 million top prize, $4 million total pool. This is bad business decision by FanDuel. We have to take advantage of it. And what you were saying is maybe you don't even lose your own money. Maybe this is FanDuel's money that you potentially put on Tom Brady. Or I've seen a lot of parlays where people are starting to stack some stuff together where that free bet that maybe was 20, 25, 150, depending upon what the sliding rate is for how much you are better or comfortable with your level of betting. You put that in for a parlay. There's people that have like a $7,000 parlay coming out of this thing. It was a free bet from FanDuel. Did they take into account all these parlays that could hit when they projected a $100 million loss? I don't think so. Let's get this thing to $200, $300 million loss, $100 million at least, AJ Hawk.
I guess. I mean, is that their goal? They want to lose over $100 million?
No, they do not want to at all. Nope. At all. We would like them to.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we would like to.
Take their money.
And that was the give and take email text exchange. You know, if we were to, because the thought was broached, like, can I just give everybody a free bet? You know, should I just give everybody a free bet? And they're like, what rate? And then that becomes an entire regulation question. And then if you give like a $5 free bet to everybody, it's like, what? I'm not doing it. I don't, you guys can do that. I don't want to be a part of that. Like, I would like it to be a bet, you know? And then also for the people that aren't in the gambling sports states, I get a lot of tweets from people how pissed off they are that their state isn't. And I want to let them know I'm lobbying every day for you. Mm-hmm. I'm knocking down doors. Can we do something for them? Because I don't do much fantasy. I was like, can we also give them something? And they said, well, what you were talking about, and they laid this out basically. And that would project, we project to lose. And I think they were laying it out to like explain to me why what I was asking for is maybe ridiculous. I didn't take it that way though. Sure. I took it as a cool, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we do that. And to their credit, by the way, they were like, all right, we already have it all laid out. I guess let's go do it. And that's fucking awesome. We got to take advantage of it though.
Absolutely.
Especially whenever they're giving us one, it feels like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there's a couple in there, Hammer Down boys are going to go through it. There's a couple bets this weekend that feel like, ooh, sportsbook's about to get got a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of Thursday night, what do you think is the number where you wouldn't be comfortable with? Because I do the same deal. I almost want to take like the Bucks alternate spread, like minus 16.5. But at what point do you think you're like, all right, I can't do that anymore?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it to whatever it is.
10.
13 and a half.
I think 9.5 is the number that would worry me.
Well, you just stay away from the game.
If it gets to 10, I would stay away.
Yeah, you just stay away from the game.
But you can't. It's the first game of the season. What are we talking about?
To do it.
Oh,
you got to bet it.
So maybe Jerry even told the schedule maker, like, you got to get my team in there. Listen, everybody's going to have to bet on this fucking game. Everybody's going to bet on Tampa. They can make whatever, and it's the Dallas fucking Cowboys. You put us in that first game. I can't wait for it. Let's get to a break. On the other side of the break, it'll be the first segment of this season-long segment that'll come every Wednesday at about this time. Coach Us Up Chuck with Chuck Pagano on the other side. I think he's a massive fan of yours, AJ. I assume the same for you thinking about him. Everybody's going to be a fan of this guy by the end of the season. I was very lucky to be a player on a team. You will never hear a single player come out and say, I hate Chuck Pagano. Guy's fucking awesome. And he said, and I quote, I'm not looking for a job anywhere anymore, so fuck. That was his quote.
Yep, verbatim.
So fuck.
He was in with the toxic table and what we kind of were going to bring to him. So
he's watched a lot of film on us. He's watched a lot of film on us. We did
really?
Yeah. We did a call. He said something and said, what?
What?
Yeah. Like he literally, because I think he said, you know, I wasn't going to come into this like completely unprepared, and he's a coach, so I assume he loves watching film. So I bet he had the old Exos on us potentially, like, oh, whenever he starts standing up, that means some heat's coming or something. I can't wait for him. We got 4 minutes. Chuck Pagano's on the other side, plus your phone calls after that. 1-833-4-McAfee on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. We appreciate you. We'll see you then.
Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, you know, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think if players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's true, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was so good. Oh, that was. I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Football is here, and so are new colors of Bird Dogs Jogger. Yeah! Previously only available in navy, you can now check them out in khaki and black. They're going to move quick, so get on it now. There's the navy pair. They are gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at those things. Oh, those joggers. Look at them stretch. Oh, look at the stretchiness of those things. For those listening on Sirius XM, they're stretching to hell and back.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, pretzel in them. Everybody knows the Bird Dog story. They stole Lululemon's designer and made the most comfortable shorts ever made. This new venture into joggers is legitimately a public service for all of us this football season. You can dress them up, you can dress them down, you can watch the game, you can go in public. They are the greatest joggers ever created.
Hell yeah.
Go to birddogs.com, enter promo code PATSBALL, and they'll even throw out a free Bird Dogs whistle tip football, obviously with your order. That's birddogs.com, promo code PATSBALL, PATSBALL. Boom! Free Bird Dogs whistle tip football along with your pair of Bird Dogs. Check out the shorts, the pants, and now the Bird Dogs joggers. You will not take these things off, we promise you. I will say order a size up, though.
Smart.
Yes.
Order a size up on those things, AJ.
Where, are they a little tight? Where?
Or lose some fucking weight, Anthony.
Well, Diggs had a moment with himself. I had a moment with the Bird Dogs, though. There's not a size they sent that's big enough for, you know what's going on.
I don't know if they have any.
And I'm not a big joggers guy strictly because of that. That's always been an issue for me because when it gets tight down near the bottom, it actually just wraps my calves. But I do wear jeans that wrap around my calves anyways, even though they're not skinny jeans, just these ham hawks make them that way, and the internet needs to start recognizing a little bit of girth on my goddamn quads. But I would order a size up, AJ. I think we have some coming to your house, and I believe we have to send them now to this man's house.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am so thrilled to announce that every week we'll get a chance to chat with this guy about his thoughts of the NFL weekend that was and the NFL weekend that's about to happen. A man who coached for 33 years the game of football. Loves football, sweats football, bleeds football, sleeps football. The man has been there, done that. None of us expect him to remain retired, by the way, because of everything I just said. Peloton master, former head coach of mine, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Chuck Dahn. What's up, dude?
How you guys doing?
Hey, I kind of referenced this, and for the sake of our show, it's a segment. We even have a segment graphic. Look at this, Chuck. We made this. Let's go ahead and run that thing. Look at that! Wow. Chuck, we never do that.
That is sweet.
Yeah, we never do that, okay? We'll probably never do that again. We'll probably never do that again, but this is a real segment. Coach us up, Chuck. I'm so thankful for you doing it. We all know, though, that football guys, this retirement thing, are you going to go back middle of the season? You're going to go have to consult some people because you're going to start getting the itch. You're going to start getting a little bit of drive to get back in there? Or are you fully enjoying retirement now and looking back on everything you accomplished in the football world?
No, I'm fully enjoying retirement, Pat. Great times looking back on the career. But, I just watch the TV, look at the news, Twitter, Instagram, this, that, and the other, and everything that these guys are dealing with right now. There's so much out there. I mean, if it was just about the relationships, the thing that you're going to miss is the relationships, the competition, game day, all that stuff. But as you know, there's a bunch of other bullshit that you got.
That is, and by the way, speaking of technology, bullshit, yeah. You cut out there. You cut out there. Oh, no.
Oh, here we go again.
Hey, this isn't your fault. This is AJ Hawks. We'll call you back. Hang up. We'll call you back.
Sorry, Chuck.
Better be.
But by the way, what he just said there, that's why this segment's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, and him being fully retired and not looking back is why this segment's going to be awesome because the coaches, fraternity is a really tight one because they know how much effort it is and everything. And Chuck will never bury anybody. He's a good person, but he'll at least be able to speak about the job and why and the hows and everything like that. And whenever he says something, is he back? No, he's not. Jesus Christ. Him and Tina are
I absolutely rip shit.
Hey, the other day we did a test with this. We did a test with this the other day, and you should have, his wife. This has been an entire thing. He pokes her head into the FaceTime. It's classic couple that's been together for, I think they got married after 2 weeks of knowing each other.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and it's worked.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. She is one of the coolest humans walking this earth. I mean, she would have to be obviously football coach,
Coach's
head coach,
wife,
especially
right.
Chuck.
I thought he called her coach at one point during that inaugural FaceTime the other day.
Yeah, she kind of keeps the whole thing together. But Chuck talking about the bullshit, that's the things I want to hear about from a head coach because nobody ever dives into it because you're lucky to be a coach, right? And we all understand that. I was very lucky to be in the NFL. AJ was very lucky to be in the NFL. Being a coach in the NFL, a lot of people's dream, we get it. But there is stuff that they have to deal with that you would think to yourself, oh, that would suck. Oh, they get paid. I get it, they get paid. But it's not just about football. It's about everything that happens in the world, especially with this COVID thing. So I'm excited to hear what happens with the COVID conference. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from his house with incredible internet, AJ Hawk was joining it just a little bit ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, Chuck!
Okay, Chuck, you're back. You look great. Okay, you said that if it was about the football and the relationships, it wouldn't be a problem. But as we all know, that's all the bullshit. Let's talk about some of that right now. These COVID protocols, how do you think this is going to get managed by the coaches? And what could you possibly do to make, like Zach Martin, Cowboys' best player, is out tomorrow because of the protocols. Left tackle for the Dolphins, big deal, out tomorrow, or out this weekend because of protocols against Patriots. How would you handle that? Because you got to like treat people like men, but also it's like that could derail an entire season right now, Chuck.
No, there's no doubt about it. And again, I don't miss having to go in every single day and getting a Q-tip stuck, up my nose into my brain. But having to navigate the waters that these head coaches are going to have to navigate, general managers, making sure your 53-man roster, your practice squad. The great thing is practice squad used to be 8 players. Now that's 16 players. So you can stack, your practice squad with some extra guys. It's going to be a nightmare because you're never going to know. You're going to trust your players to go home, do the right thing, quarantine themselves, stay safe. But these guys all got families and they got kids going to school. So it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. And so hopefully nobody runs into the problem the Broncos had a year ago with losing the whole quarterback room and all that BS. And a lot of that was brought on by themselves, as we all know now, the rest of the story. But it's going to be – injuries are one thing. It's hard enough to field a team and win a game on Sundays, and now dealing with the protocols, it's crazy.
Chuck, so we're looking at – we're starting week 1 of the NFL right now. You, as a coach, what was the most frustrating thing or what was the most difficult to handle, on week 1? You always say, oh, you never know what's going to happen. Craziness ensues and teams aren't really all in sync yet. What was the toughest thing for you, I think, to get your teams ready?
I think just dotting the I's and crossing the T's and make sure that from a situational standpoint, Pat knows we did a ton of mock situations through the preseason, through training camp, and you try to cover all your bases, offense, defense, special teams, but just that checklist of all those things. It's one thing, making sure that your team is healthy and ready to go for week 1, Sunday, Thursday, tomorrow, whatever. But there was just a litany of things that, especially for a first-time head coach, sitting there and going through with your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Midge coming in and driving me crazy. Pat, as you know,
that's
he's
Midge
nervous Nelly, Tommy McMahon. He's out in Denver now. But, and then, deciding the 53 is one thing, but then deciding the 46, who's going to be up. And now you get 48 on game day. You get 2 extra players, one being an offensive lineman. So I think, managing the roster and managing who is going to be up on game day is tough.
Okay, so let's the rookie head coaches. Let's dive into that a little bit deeper because you got a chance to experience that. And our team, whenever you were a rookie head coach, by the way, was ranked 32nd out of 32 NFL teams. Ooh. By all things. It was actually on the back of our shirt, by the way. It had all the teams, and then our name was right down by our ass down here. It was a full thing because that's literally how we were viewed and the roster was viewed. And obviously, we just had Andrew Luck, which I think I can't wait to hear your thoughts on how Urban and Trevor will do this thing. But as a rookie head coach, day before game, night before game, did you actually shit your pants? Were you nervous as hell because you had no idea what was going to expect? Or is all the experience of being an assistant coach and kind of feeling how the room was, did you have, obviously you have hope, but was there a lot of what the hell could happen tomorrow, the night before a game?
A lot of anxiety. I didn't need a diaper, but pretty close. You just don't want to screw the thing up. You want to give your players and your team a chance in every situation to go out and play well, and just you don't want to screw that thing up. So having things organized, having things settled as far as just replay, and making sure that you got somebody in the box that can manage the game, help you manage the game from a down and distance, timeout situation, replay situation. Who's that guy going to be? That guy has to know those rules inside and out, all those things. So, these first-year head coaches, there's a bunch of things that's going through their mind right now. They're going to go over their game plans one last time. Offense, defense, special teams, their checklist, the situational stuff, the replay stuff. There's a ton of stuff. But I will say at the end of the day, all these guys are playing with house money right now too. So let it rip. Have fun. Go out there. Get your team ready to go. Snot bubbles coming out the nose. Go out and have fun. And let those guys make your plans simple so that those guys can go play fast and have fun and go out and compete. And again, you're playing with house money. Let it rip.
Yeah, nobody's expecting any of these rookie head coaches to fucking beat Bill Belichick on game one. That is something I never even really thought about. Sorry about that. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, Chuck, so we were just talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks and how they are absolutely set up for success to be better than they were last year. Like, is it just people that are Bucks fans, or a lot of people in the studio just think that they're just going to roll through their regular season and win the Super Bowl again? Like, how possible do you think that is for them?
We didn't give our predictions on Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, 22 starters back. Tom Brady, it's easy to say, hey, yeah, you're going to roll right to, the NFC, make it to the conference championship game, get to the Super Bowl, but you got a huge bullseye on your chest now, and, expectations can do a lot of things to a lot of people. Now, I don't expect we still together. Yeah. I don't expect this group, especially, bringing Tom Brady down there, that's a whole corporation in and of itself. So everybody's level of preparation, play, everything goes from like here to here, out the roof. And so Bruce will do a great job managing all that stuff, as we know. The coaching staff down there is experienced. They got, great guys calling the plays on offense and defense and special teams. And those guys know their players. The players know the coaches. They've been through this drill. So I think once you get out there, and the ball, you roll out the ball and you kick that thing off, and everything, the dust settles. I think this group definitely has a chance to repeat.
Hey, Chuck, listen to this. There was teams that weren't interested in Tom Brady coming to their building when he became a free agency that aren't set at like their quarterback position, allegedly. And I said to what you said, like, you get Tom Brady in the building, accountability is high for every athletic trainers, chefs. Okay, chefs, the bus drivers, by the way, the people that buy equipment managers, you name it. Everybody doesn't want to be the reason why they don't win. I couldn't believe that some teams are like, he's too old out there. That is crazy to me, Chuck. You need a guy. I mean, if you get a guy, you hang on to your guy forever. Aaron Rodgers, who comes on Tuesday, you got to hang up his face. The face that he just got caught on. I was going to talk to him about Aaron, and if he listened to Aaron Rodgers Tuesday talk yesterday, and how LaFleur has always been the ally in this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm excited to hear Chuck's thoughts on, like, Matt LaFleur being the ally here and maybe even being a massive part of that whole thing sticking together for a long time at this point. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure on that coach.
Absolutely. And he it was probably tongue-in-cheek, but he said, that was one of the reasons why he didn't want to go back to Chicago. It's like, hey, I'm sick and tired of having to prepare for Rodgers to come in and just rip my guts out. It's just, so, yeah, it would be very interesting to see his take on their relationship.
AJ, why'd you put your router in Chuck's house?
Good God.
Where does Chuck live? Do you know?
He's got houses all over. He's fucking Chuck Pagano, man. He's coached in Miami. He's coached in Boise. He's coached in Montana, I think. Baltimore, Indy.
UCLA.
I think he potentially, has he coached at UCLA?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know. Ladies and gentlemen, back with us with incredible internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pagano.
Yeah, Chuck.
Hey, we'll power through. We'll send you a router.
So full disclosure, I got 3 bars, full bars, everything. So, like you, AJ, I know in the attic, you're up top in the castle there in Ohio. We definitely got to get somebody over to whatever building you're in, downtown Indy.
Oh,
I got bars, I got everything. But AJ, so I'm living in Boise, Idaho now. My first full-time coaching job was here in 1987. I met my wife, Tina. We started dating in '88, got married in '89, and rest is history. So I got Boise, Idaho. We dated 2 months. I left town. She came to East Carolina for a spring break. Put her on a plane, called her over the phone the next day, asked her to marry me. She said, thankfully, yes. Dad was a little skeptical. 2 months, and then you leave town. He's like, I called from a payphone. I was recruiting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh.
And he's like, "You got to be shitting me.
He's Italian.
You kids don't even know each other." Boom, hang up.
Hey, well, I'm happy it happened because you two are quite a tag team, a powerful tag team. And by the way, the coach's life, coach's wife, coach's family is maybe one of the most difficult positions on earth with the amount of hours and dedication and everything like that. The fact that you two, and we got a chance to test it out in the rehearsal call. Love is still in the air.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's an inspiration, man. It's inspiring. So I appreciate you both, and I'm happy the dad didn't, lock Tina Dahn up there and say, "No, you ain't going to no fucking bumfuck town in North Carolina with some Italian coach." All right, that ain't happening. Chuck, let's get back to this though. Whenever you have a guy, and what you said about Tom Brady and how everybody's accountability, and you have a lot of friends in that building, a lot, as do I, and everything that we thought was right there. When you have a guy, you got to keep him. And we talked to you about Aaron Rodgers while the entire Aaron Rodgers situation was happening, but now we know even more. Aaron and Matt LaFleur are I think best friends, almost to the point where I think LaFleur is a massive piece of why that he came back and everything happened there. Is that a pressure you feel? Do you think LaFleur is being told by Mark Murphy and Goot, hey, we need you to save our asses here? Or is that just something that's kind of naturally understood, you think, as a head coach and being the direct correspondent between front office and team? Is that a real pressure you have to kind of make everybody happy? With Tomlin has to deal with TJ Watt's contract right now. I mean, that is some shit you have to navigate, right?
No, you're in charge of all that stuff, and Matt's the offensive caller and the play caller as well, and so. Him being the first one out there, who wants to lose Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback? Are you kidding me? Damn right he was the first one out there with, bourbon and whiskey and scotch in tow and probably an Opus couple, bottles of Opus One. It wasn't cheap wine.
Yeah, no way. Not for Aaron's palate. Can't have that cheap shit.
No $2 Chuck. But having that guy, it's very, very important. And so the head coach is always the guy that, the whole building, the owner, the GM, everybody is looking to the head coach. Okay, fix this problem. Go make this thing right. We can't lose this guy. Okay, we might have done this, and this. You may have come into my office a few times, Pat, and we had to, get things calmed down. I'm on my hands and knees. Please don't go do what you're fixing to do in the locker room. Remember that conversation, right?
Yeah, and some people are really lucky that I didn't, by the way. They're really lucky with the conversation.
Oh, my God. Remember we said, hey, just put the face on the ball. Yeah. That's what you're kicking today, right? Okay, so let's go to work. So I appreciate you taking the high road there. But anyway, Tom Brady coming in the building, Peyton Manning, you were with the sheriff. So you know firsthand exactly what that's like. And you're right. You don't want to be that guy. Don't be that guy. You don't want to let him down. You don't want to let anybody down. But that guy, it's one thing. You drop a ball in practice and you don't know the plays and how to get lined up and you're running the wrong routes, you're out. Give me a new wide receiver in there. You saw it. Yeah. And they don't mess around. So from an accountability standpoint, part of being a great leader is being able to hold your peers accountable and daily. Day after day after day, and that's not easy, and a lot of people are scared of that.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Coach, I was wondering, Joe Thomas once said when he was with the Browns, every single year he would say, this is the year we're going 16-0, very confident. As a coach, would you have that same mindset every single year, or would you sometimes kind of look at the schedule and the team and kind of know, we're probably not going to be perfect this season?
Great question. I think every head coach goes in. I'm an eternal optimist. Pat will tell you that. You're never going to go in and say, hey, guys, you know what? If we go 500 this year, it's going to be a great season. Right then and there, probably be the last time you address the team in the team room. Probably be packing your shit the next day. But no, every head coach walks in. They got the trophy. They open up the suitcase. They got the white gloves on. They're showing the trophy. Everybody starts that way. Now, you guys know better than I know. All the pundits know. Okay, who really has that opportunity? So you're going to tell that. You're going to sell that. Pat will tell you when I got the only reason I got that job in India is because the sheriff Peyton didn't play the year before, and you had a bunch of quarterbacks on there that, we all know good guys and all that, but you're 2-14 at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's why, Jim Caldwell's a hell of a football coach and took that team to a Super Bowl, and he's out. So that's the only reason that whole thing was blown up. And that first team meeting we had, Pat, there wasn't very many people in there.
Well, I think it was like 20. I think it was like 20 people in the entire team meeting room. Legit. Because that was after the offseason where I was getting texts and calls from my friends. They're like, don't answer your phone. They're cutting and firing everybody. They fired fucking Peyton Manning. I'm like, what? Yeah, they're cutting Peyton Manning. Okay, all right, good news. There was like next to nobody, and this is Chuck, by the way. Okay, so now thinking back from your standpoint, this is Chuck's first team meeting as a head coach, in the NFL, working all these years to get this moment. You didn't get a chance to have a full house. That's unbelievable. I didn't even think about you talking to that little just like skeleton crowd that was in there. You crushed it though, by the way. You fucking came in and crushed it. I want to let you know that.
Well, I appreciate it. You know what? There's a bunch of guys in that room, including yourself, that you just don't by happenstance, end up in a NFL locker room on an NFL roster. So there was a bunch of guys in there that now had the opportunity to fill in for Peyton. He was going to replace Peyton, but Andrew Luck. So that was very lucky, so to speak, that lined up. But Gary Brackett, Dallas Clark, Jeff Saturday, all those guys. But we talked about, hey, what about the opportunity that you now have, to go out there and go ball out and win yourself a job and show everybody in the world, I've been playing behind this guy, but I've done what I'm supposed to do. I prepared for this moment, and now I'm going to go take advantage of it.
I do love that every meeting, okay? Sometimes it would get to the point where we're like, if Chuck comes in here with any of this positive bullshit, we are going to slap him in the face. And he would come. It was a terrible game. Just absolutely terrible game. And Chuck would address it. He would address the terrible. We'd have the plays, do the whole thing. And then by the end of that meeting, he had everybody in there believing like, oh, we're never going to play like that again. Like that is a massive part of being a coach, by the way, like the consummate motivator. That's why last year when Anthony Lynn told the Chargers, like, it's probably not going to be it for us this year, boys. And they still had a chance to make it into playoffs. I was like, well, just like you said, I don't want that guy speaking to my team ever in there. Yeah. Go ahead, Ty, as we continue to regain service with Chuck.
Coach, Pat has told us a bunch of stories about, your locker room speeches or little quips that you've had, and by all accounts, you're a great orator. When you look up at a guy like Nick Sirianni, who kind of he sounds like a doofus almost every time he talks to the media. Anytime like in your first year, did you think after like addressing the team or talking to the media like, oh shit, these guys are gonna think I'm a complete moron? Like, is that something you really had to work on as the season went on? And do you think it matters, or as long as you win, like, all that kind of stuff falls by the wayside?
Yeah, another great question. I think you always worry about, I don't know, poor connection again.
No, you're good. You're good. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Maybe it's Idaho.
Yeah, I think. Oh, well, Idaho.
Did I lose you guys again?
No, you're good. Can you hear us? That's over. That was a great question, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because.
That was.
Yeah, it was a great question. He actually said it was a great question. Pretty good little run there, though, without breaking up.
Yeah.
I love Chuck Pagano.
Yeah.
And what he was referring to is I was going to explain a situation that had happened behind closed doors to the entire media. Yeah, I was going to do it. I was like, what'd you say? Yeah, absolutely, call him back. But I was going to do that. And I was like, Chuck, I'm fucking sick. This is bullshit. This is amateur hour. This is not how we fucking do things around here. You have no idea the repercussions if you do that. I said, no, fuck this, dude. This is unbelievable. You know. And Chuck was like, I do know. I do know. Okay, listen. But just think of everything that could happen. It was amazing. It was coaching, by the way.
Yeah.
That is actual coaching, whenever I was in the middle of that thing. And I think that's why everybody loves Chuck. Chuck, whenever you were speaking to the public or speaking to the team early, did you have any moments where you were like, oh, these people are going to think I'm an absolute idiot? Because like Sirianni botched his open press conference, which has then led to Ty's harshly judgment of it. But did that ever happen for you? And is that something you had to actively think about, or you just went out there and shot from the hip?
No, I think you got to be yourself and be true to who you are, but you certainly don't want to go, screw things up and be a douchebag, And every time you go on there, you guys do a segment you get done with a segment and it's like you're looking for some affirmation. Okay, how'd I do? So I'm walking out of media press conferences and talking to Avis and Conti and, hey, how do you think it went? How do you think I answered this? How do you think I answered that? And a lot of times, we worry too much about the media and we think they're all, and they're not. They're really not. And I always said, what you write about me, what you say about me is really none of my business. So you got to go up there, you got to be yourself, but you don't want to throw up all over yourself either, and you're always worried about the message, because the message, AJ knows that, being in the locker room and listening to those head coaches that you played for, you're always worried about the message. You're always worried about coming up with something different. And a lot of times you don't need something different. You change it up here and there, but just be true to yourself and speak from the damn gut and speak from the heart and don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, authenticity is a big deal, especially in the NFL locker room. The NFL locker room can sense bullshit immediately coming out of somebody's mouth. And I think because you were so raw with us is why we all loved you so much. You were always a great orator, by the way. And I like the fact you just took a shot at the media. We have to take a break 1 minute from now. The first Coach Us Up, Chuck segment just wrapped. Aside from a couple tech issues on our end, allegedly, fucking Idaho and Ohio.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Aside from that, though, this was incredible. I can't wait for next Wednesday, Chuck. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. As situations unfold during the season, it is going to be amazing. Coaches getting fired in the middle of the season. Wait for that to happen.
Yep. He's the man. Like, I would have loved to play for a guy like I would love to play for Chuck at some point.
Yeah, Chuck. I mean, he was fucking awesome. We got to the AFC Championship game, then a lot of things happened,
Like what?
Behind the scenes, a lot of stuff. I mean, there was just a lot of turmoil. I mean, there was just a lot of shit that happened everywhere. But then we still had a team that loved each other, and I think that's very evident still to this day. I'm very thankful for Chuck. Hour 3 is on the other side. We'll take some phone calls and more chatter with the legend, cocktail superstar, AJ Hawk.
Hell yeah.
Did we mute this music here out of the middle of nowhere?
I think it changed.
So.
This show stinks, dude. All the hard work throughout my entire life, whether it was driving me to practice, to go to work, the coaches that invested hours in me, everything I have done to get to this point. I got a whole town, a community, a family, a tribe of people watching me potentially live out my dreams that we all thought was going to happen. And when I get to Rock, I get a chance to carry 8 motherfuckers that are playing for a team that is in the city that I went to college in. I carry 8 people, have the biggest moment in my football career, maybe make a team, if not with the coach somewhere else. Hey, that guy's got juice, let's do it. Change the entire direction in the course of my family's life. I can't be excited though.
No.
Don't even think about it.
Don't you fucking dare.
Are you kidding me? All that just happened and everything I just said there and more is potentially happening in that one play? Don't even fucking think it. Get your fucking ass back in the huddle. You know Barry Sanders? Hey, Barry Sanders, he'd score a touchdown and he would just hand it to the ref and then he was gone. Why don't I? Well, Barry Sanders also won the Heisman, right?
Yeah.
It was also like the all-time leading scorer in this whole thing. Barry Sanders was unbelievable, worked his ass off. Let's not get crazy. And Barry Sanders had the ability to act like he had been there before because Barry Sanders, by the way, had fucking been there before. And maybe Barry Sanders, the way he goes about business isn't how everybody goes about business. Maybe there's a lot of different stories, a lot of different situations, a lot of different life events that lead to somebody acting differently than somebody that just acted, almost robotic while being one of the most exciting and electric players in the history. Got nothing but love for Barry Sanders. Let's not get crazy. But there's a lot of people tweeting, act like you've been there before. It's like, you think this motherfucker's been there before? Yeah. This dude just carried 8 people and maybe changed the entire life. He can't be excited. Aren't we a game of emotion? Aren't we a game of excitement? Why is this a fucking penalty? Hey, Goodell! Hey, eating your M&Ms, sitting on the chair, being cool. You became my commissioner. You weren't my commissioner when Hey, you dance, you're fucking out. Your sock slide, you're fucking out. We don't want anything. We want robots, no emotion. Everybody hated you then, Raj. All right, everybody hated you. And nobody understood why you're trying to take the fun out of the game. You're doing it because you want to be able to just pluck and play. You didn't want to have players be brand names because then you could replace them easily. Okay, I understand the business side of it, but we all agreed, the tribe has spoken, that the game's better when people are excited. Some things are too much. All right, some things are way too much. There were some dances that happened that looked a little bit more like basketball, where we're all like, there's no way that can happen with a full line dance. We get it, there was some. But it added to the game. The excitement added to everything. Now taking away this and making it a point of emphasis. And I'm not saying that there should be if something egregious happens, they should penalize them. Yes, please. It's not for the good of our game, not for the good of the league, not good for fans, not good for anybody. I understand that's going to happen, but a point of emphasis means, hey, we're cracking down on this because we don't want it to happen anymore. And why are we targeting that as opposed to targeting something else I'll never understand? My commissioner, Roger Goodell, is going to get to the bottom of this if Sam Acho doesn't do it first.
Yeah.
That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds, everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. So I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. It's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end zone. He's looking at me saying, what idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester? But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Assume Raj had to walk in there and do a full, you know what I mean?
Yeah, curtsy.
Hey, we're coming. We're bringing a big sports stooge thing over here. Is that okay? Yep, deal. Perfect. Let's get some tea. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do you think that went between Raj and the Queen? You think she liked them?
Yeah. I bet she liked him. She probably knows a lot. Like, what if she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's like, so what about the Sean Watson situation? What about the Sean Watson situation? What about the Sean Watson situation? That was spot on accent.
Hit that one out of the park.
Like, what if she's really dialed in to the NFL?
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Hour 3, with AJ Hawk live in Ohio wearing the same sweater he was wearing when he gave a perfect English accent months ago. He's back on SiriusXM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio, youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Big thanks to Chuck. We already got a text from Chuck saying, I'll fix the Wi-Fi issue. I apologize for that. Okay. That's accountability, by the way.
That's right.
Now, AJ likes to blame us and Ohio and everything.
I don't blame you.
You were clapping for him whenever he was saying, "Hey, it might be."
I was excited because me and Chuck bonded over the fact that our internet is garbage. So it was. It was like when they hate the coach in 1980 in the hockey team.
Hey, what actual thoughts now? You had like 6 minutes here. And that is a bunker mentality, by the way. Whenever you hate the coach, you can come together and say, hey, we're in this thing together and fuck this guy. And that's what you're talking about in Miracle on Ice?
Hey, you give everybody one common goal, and their one common thread through everybody is, hey, we hate this dude. And we can bond over our hatred for him.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that,
I didn't exactly flesh this completely out, so I don't know exactly how it works to that story, but I thought that was a great story.
I mean, if you tie anything to Miracle on Ice, I mean, you're immediately going to get legitimized. You know what I mean? That's a smart idea there. But you've had 6 minutes to kind of step away here with good internet to think about the Chuck conversation. Imagine that guy every day addressing the team that you're on. Just imagine that. Every day, this optimism gas tank is just always at F somehow. It makes no sense. He was coming in, had stories too, and he's been legitimized. I mean, he was coaching at the U when the U was the U. He was recruiting the guys that made the U the U. He's in Baltimore over there. He is. Everybody comes and says what's up to Chuck. It's like, what an icon. I can't thank him enough for joining us.
I thought he was amazing, and I would love to sit there in team meetings every day and know that you're getting an upbeat, overly positive guy, because that is usually not the case in the NFL. And a lot of times, if you're winning consistently in the NFL, it is definitely not overly positive, because if it's overly positive, then these guys are going to sit back and they're going to cruise for a little bit, so we're going to stay on them, and we can't enjoy this until the season's over, basically.
His "come on, guys" days were awesome.
Yeah, I bet.
He would tell a story about somebody and what happened, and then he would come in and tie it in. And you can't do it. You can't do, listen, we can't do this. And then he would show the thing like this, right? And then you would look and he would ask, yeah, it was almost like you felt like you let down. Did we not go over this? How many? 72 times, I think. We went over the 70. It was one of the. He addressed the accountability was a real thing, but just by the end of it, it was always just hey, here we go. We're past this. We're moving on. Great relationship. Can't wait to hear what comes up throughout the NFL season as we continue to roll here. He did say, though, the Buccaneers are going to beat the shit out of Cowboys.
Yeah, he did.
He said targets on their chest. That's where all those guys want to be anyways. And Tom's had a target for 20-some years now at this point.
Every single year of his career. So,
AJ Hawk, did you hear about TJ Watt's practice status being a secret, I guess? It is not being released by the Pittsburgh Steelers or the media. Is that happening? I saw Mark Madden tweet about it.
Yeah, because that's definitely the voice that we have to listen to.
So is TJ Watt practicing?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Well, is it a closed practices?
No. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Will we find out after practice?
Well, and I guess you would, but there is always media at the beginning of practices normally.
Usually at least for stretch and walkthrough.
Well, that's not the part that we don't know about, because we know that he's always done individuals. So are they there for team?
So we need to get maybe a drone helicopter. Can we rent a chopper over here in Pittsburgh, fly over UPMC Center down there and see if old 90s flying around?
I'm on it.
Call Madden.
Thank you.
Call somebody on Pitt's football team or their staff. They split the building. They share it together.
Let's call Chris Bickle of 1997. Call him up. He's an alumni. He can I think, just walk. I think he can land his helicopter
on the field.
On the field that Steelers are practicing in right now that he is the official sponsor of the head coaching title with a $20 million donation. That's pretty big news, obviously. Sean McVay came out and said, obviously, of the Rams of Matthew Stafford playing on Sunday Night Football against the Bears.
He's calling Bickle.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of him.
Okay, I appreciate that. He thinks, Sean McVay says he would be naive of them to not prepare for Justin Fields in some form or fashion. So I think Sean McVay is saying everything that a head coach has to say, just like Chuck just told us, you have to cover all your bases. I'm not sure Sean McVay knows anything more than any of us know, but it would be dumb not to maybe prepare for a quarterback that's on the roster that they traded a couple first-round picks in the future for and has played pretty well in the preseason, just in case Andy Dalton doesn't perform up to snuff. You view this the same way, because these quotes have been talked about by a lot of people, AJ.
Yeah, and credit to Andrew Siciliano for putting this beautiful tweet out. He looks like a giant in his profile pic on Twitter, so credit to Siciliano. But Yeah, of course. Who knows? Do you think Justin Fields may? Is it possible that he's going to have like a little package for him? Maybe red zone. Maybe throw him in, keep the defense on their heels.
Yeah, third down, red zones, whatever. You should have some sort of trickery, especially in the modern football, where you can create plays that create space, and in the money down and in the gold zone, the red zone. Why would you not get a guy that can move and throw? But maybe Andy Dalton says, "Hey, this is my team now." Drew Brees didn't say it to him, but Nagy and Pace have said it to him basically this entire time. Even after drafting and before drafting Justin Fields, they've been very consistent with this is Andy Dalton's team. If you bring in Justin Fields for a third down and there's great success, and you bring in Justin Fields for the red zone and there's great success, just like the Fitzmagic shit with Tua last year, the Fields mania is going to grow louder and louder and louder. So I would assume just because they don't want to deal with that, maybe not, but it would be dumb not to. If you think Justin Fields can make a play that Andy Dalton can, it would be dumb not to if he's on your roster. But if it is successful, there's a chance that all hell is going to break loose on the other side. Go ahead, Zito.
Last week, Nagy did say there is designated plays for Fields for this game.
Yeah, and I'd be saying that as well, that there's designated plays for who's a other good player. Khalil Mack also, right? Running back, potentially, or quarterback. I think that situation is going to be one that I'm fascinated to watch. Because unless Nagy and Pace have comfort that they have another year at least after this, because they have a rookie quarterback that they invested the future of the franchise in with a couple picks and a guy who's been good, unless they have the utmost comfort that they are not done at the end of this year and they are just patient with this entire thing, who knows how that could pan out, honestly, especially if Andy Dalton balls and deals.
Yeah.
Which might happen.
That's best case scenario for them, right? That Andy just plays so well that they can't put Justin Fields in yet, and you let him sit there and develop and maybe put him in little different spots throughout the game, and then that package grows as the season goes on. And then you don't need to be a two-quarterback team.
But what if,
you have two
to
guys.
your point, what if they do that and Justin Fields throws a 75-yard touchdown? Then that just intensifies everything. It's like,
Fields.
hey, it's Fields
Fields.
time. Yeah, sorry.
Fields. It would be like the death chant from the Gladiator days. The whole crowd would be chanting Fields. I mean, it'll become... That's like something you have to think about, though. Should ask Chuck. Fuck.
And they've empowered Dalton to be the starting quarterback. So if that's the case, and you do that in the first quarter of your first game of the season.
And we have to let it be clearly known that we as a show think that if Justin Fields can do a third down package or a red zone package or a goal line package that makes the Chicago Bears a better team, you should do it. You're doing a team disservice if you don't. What we are saying is if that package has a lot of success, their little plan might be hindered by the public reaction that could happen naturally on Sunday Night Football, national television, in the third largest city in America. I never has ever and never will be second largest city in America. We'll always maybe move to 4, actually.
Yeah. Oh, no.
If Houston continues to expand how big that city, I mean, one end of Houston to the other is a drive across Pennsylvania.
Yeah, massive.
Okay, so, I mean, that thing could continue just to grow and become the third largest city, but that type of thing is something that I guess Nagy at this point has heard all the chatter and just can isolate himself from, but I don't know how they handle that thing from a PR standpoint.
Yeah, how big of a leash do you guys think Andy Dalton actually has? Like, are they going to give him an entire game, or is it going to be like a quarter-to-quarter basis, or even the first half? And if he doesn't do well, then hey, let's just go with Fields.
Go ahead, AJ. It seems like though they're talking like a couple weeks though from the beginning plans. It feels like at least he has at least time. He's our starter.
Depends how he plays. It depends how he plays. I think it helps Andy and the Bears that they're on the road week 1. I think that is good. Let him be on the road to figure this thing out so we don't have the whole stadium yelling at us if Andy throws one incompletion. Don't you think?
Yeah. That
and if Andy plays well, I don't know if they go. Are they home week 2? Zeke probably.
Yeah, they're home week 2 against the Bengals.
So. Let's hope Joey Burrow's playing week 2.
Yeah, Dalton revenge game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely have to play Dalton. Yeah. Maybe that's the only promise that Nagy and Pace made Dalton.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get your revenge.
You can play Cincy.
We'll get Justin Fields week 4 at home against the Lions.
Yeah, maybe the Lions is a good time to get him in there, depending upon how MCDC's got that pride running up there on that field.
Who's week 3?
Week 3 is at Cleveland against the Brownies.
Yeah, probably not going to want to debut in Cleveland.
They could be 0-3, against the Lions week 4.
That's the one.
Yeah, with 17-game season, you can go 0-3 and still turn that thing around very much. Like you can turn that thing a lot, especially in that whole thing. But I think Andy Dalton's going to play well, and it's going to put a wrench in the entire thing, and there's going to be a growing crowd that's pissed that he's not playing, and then there's going to be a crowd that's like, well, why? Why would we right now? Andy Dalton's playing really well. If he gets hurt or something happens, okay, we're happy for that. That's best case scenario for Nagy and Pace, especially for their futures of their careers, but who knows how that whole thing pans out. Howie Roseman said, and we talked about this in the first hour whenever I cut a promo for why the Colts are going to cover against the Seahawks this weekend. At home. Lucas Oil Stadium. Howie Roseman, general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, the same man that managed to blow up his entire roster that won a Super Bowl a couple years ago, and piss off everybody, get rid of everybody that is made into a statue in the city for the first time in 50 years. This man, Howie Roseman, was able to burn it all down. I'm not sure any fan of the Eagles likes this human. Now, granted, if they win, he'll be loved. That's kind of how everything is, but it does look like the place is kind of on fire, especially after last season. And he comes out and says, we love Carson, but we played 4 playoff games and we needed our backup in everyone. I mean, that's a shot. That is shit talking to Carson Wentz. AJ, your thoughts on Howie Roseman running his fucking mouth against the Indianapolis Colts starting quarterback?
I mean, this is a huge shot at Carson Wentz, and I guess we can see a little bit of behind the curtain of what Carson was dealing with and possibly Doug Peterson in Philly. I mean, if you can come out and say that.
As a GM.
Yeah, that's...
Like Chris Ballard comes on this show, Brandon Beane comes on this show. They are trying not to ruffle any feathers with anybody.
Nope.
Hey, we have confidence in our team. We like our team. And it's like, hey, I'm a GM. There's no reason for me to talk shit on anybody. This guy comes out. Hey, did Carson win any of those games that mattered for us? I didn't think so, right? Fucking got him out of town. That's what I thought.
Good work, Howard.
Where's the thank you? You know what I mean? Like that's a wild answer by a GM, but Sirianni's a wild coach. The things he says. So maybe that's what they need to kind of get things going. We have breaking news, AJ, that we do need to get to. Our investigative journalism has uncovered that TJ Watt is practicing for the Pittsburgh Steelers today. Pryor of ESPN, TJ Watt was back at practice today, fully participating, and yes, that includes the team period. Joe Schobert, a fellow Wisconsinite, said it was great to be out there with Watt again. What you just, heard was the wind coming from the foot of all the Yinzers that just found out that TJ Watt is not going to make this a huge holdout, miss games ordeal, even though the contract is not finished yet. And maybe it is finished, and maybe that'll be announced later. Maybe they have come to terms on an agreement handshake, but they haven't been able to figure it out. Maybe that happened. Maybe it hasn't. TJ Watt back on the field, though, playing this weekend for the Steelers. 10 Diggs, you knew this all along.
I knew it all along.
All along.
What? You think TJ Watt's going to miss a game? Not going to happen. I know this disappoints a lot of people.
What?
I know this disappoints a lot of people.
What?
You guys.
Whoa.
No. You guys wish so much bad upon the Steelers.
No, we need the Steelers. We need this guy.
Steelers,
here we go. Pittsburgh's going to Super Bowl. We say that all the time. What's this guy talking about?
TJ
we
Watt.
make Duck Hodges.
No, you don't.
That's right.
What about Duck?
Exactly.
Register to vote.
Register to vote. We promoted his initiative to have people vote, and that's not even our thing. We did politics yesterday. I'm a better person than you.
That's not true. I'm a better person than you.
Settled.
But anyway, it has been settled. But we didn't wish harm upon the Steelers. Now, TJ Watt holding out would have been, overreaction Monday would have been.
We got games to talk about. We don't need that, okay? If this was 3-4 weeks ago.
Which could have been handled then, by the way, by Colbert and Tomlin in the Steelers organization with arguably one of the best defensive players to ever play football.
Deadline spur action. We know that.
You're right.
But he'll be there Sunday. All will be well. Except for do play the Bills, so all might not be well.
I think money is all on the Bills this weekend, especially returning to Bills Mafia. I mean, the amount of tables.
Ooh, look out.
I mean, let's have a moment of silence for maybe every table that has ever been created, because Bills Mafia gets a chance to get back into the building to watch that Bills team that has become an absolute force yet again. I mean, we're talking table getting slaughtered at 5 a.m.
What?
5:01 a.m.
What?
Probably 5:02 a.m.
What?
Then they'll take a break. And then only 6 a.m.
What?
6:01 a.m.
What?
6:15 a.m.
What?
Spray ketchup and mustard all over each other. Chug about 15 to 16 more beers each person. Get the bong out, maybe. Go on top of the RV and then rest. 7:05 a.m.
What?
7:10 a.m.
What?
There's going to be no less than 400 tables broken this weekend at the Buffalo Bills tailgates before the game. There might be 7 dildos thrown onto the field. With the way Ben Roethlisberger's arm looks on the first take this morning, I'm not sure he'll be even able to help the refs as they're picking up the dildos off the field with Bills Mafia losing their mind getting back in there. There's another buzzsaw situation, AJ Hawk. Even though TJ Watt's back, that's great news. The Buffalo Bills Mafia getting a chance to fully celebrate this Buffalo Bills team with Josh Allen getting paid and looking damn good in preseason. I mean, that seems like that's going to be a tough one for the Steelers.
Yeah, it does. But the line is 6.5, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The line
Wait, it's a real picture? Hold
Yes.
on. That's real?
Yes.
Very.
Stephen
Wait,
A.
what happened?
Stephen A. was interviewing Mike Tomlin. Okay, Mike Tomlin was on a full screen.
Khloe Kardashian put that up?
Yeah. So Mike Tomlin was on a full screen, and as the questions were asked, the subject would change on the other LED board. I mean, it was actually a very cool setup. And when they got the Roethlisberger's picture, I mean, I was listening to Tomlin speak because Tomlin doesn't do a lot of this. So listening to him speak, like I enjoyed. I think he's a great orator. He's hilarious as well. And he's pretty matter of fact every time he speaks. And he asked about Ben Roethlisberger, so that's a big conversation. And then I looked to the left side of the screen. I'm like, what the fuck happened to Ben Roethlisberger? They had to have done that on purpose, right? I mean, he's a bobblehead looking son of a bitch. And then he made his little tiny arm there, strong side, left side.
This is a NFL Network situation going on here.
Oh, because they wanted us to chat about how there's no way that's the size of his arm because we do know what he does off the
They
field.
went full Sicily on it.
Or is that what his arm does look like now because he did stop doing the...
Bingo. It has atrophied quite a bit.
No, because he sits on his hands, so he should still have some sort of strength in his forearm.
Whatever the case, I have no idea how this happened, but it was a great
I don't know
interview.
if he's switch hitting. I mean, that's,
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't know, Ben, dude.
He's
Whatever you're
ambidextrous.
talking about, hey, when you have to
No,
quit...
he's rehabbing. He's definitely using his right
Hey,
hand.
when you get to the point where you have to quit, let's assume you're trying out all methods.
Yeah, guess what? His right hand was getting calloused up quite a bit, and he had to switch to the left every once in a while.
I'm starting to lose grip on a football. Why? Because his calluses get so big and massive.
I will
go lefty for a couple months at least.
Can I plead with the Bills Mafia real quick, Pat?
Absolutely. Anything to change the subject.
Okay. Well, this is not. Do not. I pray, please do not throw dildos onto the field because if Ben sees one, he is going to lose control.
Yeah, but maybe with the way these pictures are looking on ESPN, maybe he needs to get his hands back on a couple of those.
Big time.
You know what I mean? Maybe he does. That was wild. That was absolutely.
I'll be right back.
Oh, jeez. That was wild.
Throwing a dildo on that field would like be throwing like a bottle of alcohol to an alcoholic. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
What if they do switch it up and throw like tissues and lotion and porno mags all over the field?
Jerkins.
Hustler magazine.
Jerkins. Just fucking pulling it out of their pants.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Boom. Bunch of pocket pussies just littering the field in the red zone. Could you imagine? That would literally fuck with Big Ben. That's what they used to do.
So is there rules for the Bills Mafia that they're not allowed to bring dildos into the building anymore?
Hey, how do you bring them in, though? That's the question.
Keister. I think.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta make sure everyone bends over and spreads their cheeks.
Easy.
They don't have a double header up there.
Easy. All right.
Hockey must be a lot easier to bring in.
There's no armadillos, all right, making its way into the route.
Hey, we know football. I think we know we beat COVID when we see the dildos in action. Don't you think the first one that hits the field?
It better be sanitizing those things.
Seriously.
Yeah, we don't need COVID dildos flying around our football players.
No.
Hey, Bills Mafia, do what you got to do. We appreciate what you do for our, because the soccer hooligans, they always claim we're the craziest or whatever. It's like, okay, go watch fucking a December game in Buffalo, please. Go ahead and watch one of those things and let's have a good time. And let's maybe move along here. And Steelers fans, by the way, very passionate and loyal as well. But we don't need any dildos getting thrown on a field that have COVID on them.
Nope.
So please make sure you sanitize any of the dildos you throw on the field this weekend as your Buffalo Bills, who you haven't really got a chance to fully celebrate their greatness yet because all last season with the way COVID was. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming to town. This is a massive AFC matchup. There will be implications from this game in Week 17 and Week 18 that we'll look back upon. Just make sure you're getting COVID off the dildos when you throw them on the field. We don't need any new protocols in place with things getting tossed on the field because you're celebrating how good your team is against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think that had to be said. I'm happy we did that, by the way.
Someone had to.
Imagine COVID dildos getting tossed around.
Cover those thing in spermicidal lube. I believe that will kill the
Lube them
COVID.
up.
That might hurt Big Ben, though.
Stay out of this, you piece of shit.
Hey, I want to see the people that are working security at the gates and see how many dildos they take off of people on the way in.
It's that
Yeah,
fat
right.
guy. It's that fat guy from the soccer game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Clear.
all right. What's this? It's a belt. Oh, okay. It does. How do they get them in there?
Probably just in like the pocket of like a
It was a
sweatshirt.
cold game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or
Bro,
They pat you down though.
My wife couldn't even get into the stadium out there for SummerSlam with her bag that was the size of her hand.
They don't make metal ones anymore.
My guess is you could have those belts. You could wear those belts that you attach a dildo to, so you just put it in your area, and they don't.
Oh, so it's like you're faking a drug test. You're faking the drug test.
Oh, like a Wizinator.
Yeah, you need a Wizinator.
You would have to, Pat, because if you can bring in a bag now, you're only allowed a clear bag like a certain size too. Usually at most stadiums.
Hey, nobody's doing this, by the way.
You got 4 to 5 dildos in your clear bag. Like, well, okay, it's in the bag.
We're just telling Walt Anderson that maybe he should think about putting in a clause or an asterisk in a rule book about a COVID-covered dildo getting tossed on the field in Buffalo.
Please.
Yeah, that's all we're asking.
No other
person
shows.
to test positive.
Team should have to forfeit.
I mean, you want to talk about
That headline, AJ.
You want to talk about
Not good.
taunting?
Raj,
Throw the
get on
flag
it,
on that.
What, the dildo?
Yeah, that's taunting. They do it to Ben.
Oh, I think it was
15
kinda-
yards.
Oh, well, if they throw it at Ben.
Yeah.
Because remember, taunting was where they're looking.
That's right. Sure.
So if the Bills Mafia throw the dildo at Ben Roethlisberger, that is clearly taunting. If they just throw it in celebration, though, with no direction, that's just celebrating, right?
Yeah, I think so. The COVID thing's a good point, though, because we know if one of those dildos gets on the field, Ben's going to be picking up and sniffing that thing immediately and getting COVID and probably missing, well, I don't know about his vaccination status, but he's probably missing 2 games.
It's not good.
Why would he sniff it?
Oh, you
Why
know
wouldn't you?
why.
Why wouldn't
Like, wow, I haven't seen one of these things in years.
I want to meet some of these people that bring these dildos in to throw them on the field. These people are American.
They're rich too, because theirs are expensive.
And they're just like carefree
Probably
with them.
vibrating ones too. They're probably vibrating, bouncing off.
It's probably a group of friends all pitching in $10.
Yeah,
should be.
Lovers Lane has a big deal right now.
Lovers Lane has a big deal. His microphone is off. All right, we're back in 4 minutes with some phone
More
calls.
football on the other side.
Yeah,
right?
football talk. Football talk.
No, I said more football. This is football.
Yeah.
It is.
These are things that we have to cover, because if we don't talk about it, who will? With all these COVID protocols being put into place, who's thinking about what's potentially coming from the crowd? I saw Mac Brown at that Virginia Tech game.
Yeah.
And Virginia Tech Stadium is actually set up where they stand on top of each other. Okay? That was like Fauci's nightmare, you know? But goddamn, when that it came on, it was so awesome. And I just thought of Mac Brown standing there, and he looked miserable the entire game. Like, the entire game. Before the game even started, he looked out of it. And I'm like, if the crowd does, how are they stopping COVID from hitting? You can't, right?
Nope.
No.
Fauci might have some other things to worry about right now.
Oh, jeez.
He had way too much
Connor,
time.
Whoa, no. I'm out of those weeds.
Let's get
I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, 4
going
minutes.
in.
We'll see you then. This is the Pat McAfee Show. See you. Sports, football, stuff like that. Smarter than you, I'm better than you. No. I'm a better person than you are.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I fed the birds this morning, so I'm a better person than you are.
Yeah, but you don't care about, the ozone as much as I do. So do you even like to breathe? That means you don't even like the birds. You don't want the birds to be able to breathe or fly because you want the ozone to be ruined because you're a fucking asshole.
Is that right? Then how come I rollerblade to the supermarket every Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, did that make you feel good, rollerblading, flattening the earth a little bit closer to the center so it can get hotter so then the heat comes from the ozone because you're pressing down the earth with your little rollerblades?
Well, yeah, but
I'm a better person than you are.
No, because on Wednesdays I'm planting trees and I'm trying to bring the earth back to what it was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you're cutting up other trees' roots, though. What a fucking
right.
asshole.
Wow.
You
No,
prick. Yeah. Why can't you
fine.
just let earth be the way it's be? You got to take your shovel and dig into it? Wow. I'm a better person than you are.
I know.
dude.
I make my own manure. I make my own soil. I'm not chopping up any other
Oh,
roots.
so you don't like cows. You don't like cows pooping.
I hate farmers.
Unbelievable. You hate farmers. Oh, you don't like the head of cows. Oh, you don't like burgers?
Then how come I'm in the Farmers Association of America and I'm going to help?
Oh, you're a lifetime member of the FFA. Hey,
that's right.
That's what I make. I'm a better person than you are.
No, you're not. I'm a better person than you are.
That's politics, baby. That's what we just did right there. Let's get to the phones. Once again, I think we batted 1,000.
Boom.
In politics with what we just did right there.
How about that?
I do believe after that argument, though, people would say I was a better person than fucking you are, dude.
No, because everyone I just read on Twitter was like, oh my God, this guy rollerblades. I need to start doing that too.
No, that's because you mute all the other people that are actually on my side and they're telling you you're not the right person.
No, I refuse to mute anybody because I love everybody.
Oh, you're like freedom of speech. How come then you're not going to
I do love freedom of speech. That's why I'm not muting anybody.
I'm better
What are
than
you
you
talking
are.
about? No, I'm better than you are.
Everybody's saying it.
No.
Yeah, everybody's saying I'm a better person than you are.
I heard it.
We just did, by the way, still batting 1,000 on Paul's yes. I feel so good about it. We even got into the reaction to the punditry.
Yes.
We're batting a fucking 1,000 out there.
Every side.
The people say we're not well-rounded. We don't have depth. Did you hear what we just fucking did?
Come on.
Wow. Let's go to the phones, man. What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on you. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them.
Nice.
But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know,
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
'Twas the night before NFL football, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Nobody wanted to watch the Padres and the Dodgers, but now we are blessed with Jameis versus Rodgers. Hammered down scrolls, the board with sharpness and tact, and we all conclude that Tom Brady will cover over Dak. We'll be strapped to our couches, hungry for more. But first, starting at midnight tonight, it's 20% off our entire store. Yeah. All right, that's enough bars from Bruce. 20% off the entire store.patmcafeeshow.com at midnight tonight until midnight on Thursday, Eastern Daylight Time. All our best stuff from the sleeveless hoodies to the golf collection, dropping dimes and suck it signs, the Motor City Dan Campbell. Get on it at midnight. Shit will move quick, and we promise to get it to you before the NFL season ends.
Ooh, how about that?
Guaranteed.
Pretty good.
Hey, listen, me and the store have quite a nice little standoff in the business that my name's on. Okay, the store is run. I've gone hands off because if I was to remain into the store business, we would have fired the supplier years ago.
Years.
Okay, what I've realized is that it's not an easy business or whatever, and I think our expectations are a little bit different than the expectations in their world, whatever the case is. But our store folks, whether it's CFO Phil, Bruce, even the boys in here, real excited about this. 20% off the entire store. Thought it was going to be 10 or 15. 20% off the entire store. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds and how many tweets I get about people being pumped about how quickly they get their stuff, as opposed to the usual anytime this happens.
Right.
And I just don't want to look at it.
Nope.
Don't blame you.
Can't. Shouldn't.
How many times can you be called a scumbag for something you don't control until you say, you know what, I ain't fucking promoting it anymore. I ain't doing it anymore. Now here we are.
You're smart, man. Isn't that what's the old saying? Under promise, over deliver. So you're setting expectations right now at very low.
Yeah, you're right. But that means nothing because 10 days from tomorrow if somebody ordered it to be there in a week, which, by the way, they should expect it to be there in a week.
Right.
So I'm actually on their side, and they don't get it. I don't think they're going to remember what I just said right here.
No,
okay, none of this is going
won't.
to be remembered. And that's kind of how this whole thing has gone. I just want to let everybody know, I appreciate all the hard work that has happened at the store for tomorrow to even potentially be a thing. 20% off everything. I hope you get your stuff. Let's celebrate the hell out of the NFL. Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line, change the subject, because everything you guys have brought up has been absolutely despicable, including you. I think that's because you've been drinking old fashions with General Bob Carpenter since 10 a.m. Let's go to Chris in Oregon on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Go to 5hourenergy.com. That's the number 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee and get 10% off your order of the best energy shots in the game from 5-Hour Energy. What do you want to talk about, Chris?
What's going on, Pat?
Just hanging, dude. What's going on with you, bro?
Hey, I just have a question for AJ, and then I got a question for all you boys.
Yeah.
AJ, what's it going to be like on Saturday about 12 o'clock, watching the Ducks march all over Ohio State?
Oh, the Ducks waddling, he said.
Is this guy, you a big Oregon fan, sir? Where do you live?
Oregon.
Jesus.
No one can hear you what you say when you bring him on.
It's Chris in Oregon, dude.
Okay, Chris. Hey, you know what, Chris? I do not anticipate that happening, but hey, I don't think it will. But good for you if your Ducks are able to do that.
What? Oh, you with what he said.
Who do you guys got going to the Super Bowl this year, too? That's my question for everyone.
Thank you, Chris. That actually brings us to a segment. Now is the time, AJ. It is Wednesday.
Oh, no, it's not.
It is. It is the time.
First off, I don't know if I'm making any predictions for Super Bowl this year.
Of course. Stop being a one-sided. Get your panties in a bunch after last year. The Dallas Cowboys are going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And then what? For the next 18 weeks, you had to hear us go, hey, you remember the Dallas Cowboys? We're going to be in the Super Bowl. You're not going to do that again, dude. You're better at this point. You know at this point what's going to happen. Don't let previous outcomes predict the future outcomes. Okay, live in the now. Be where your feet are, pal.
Okay. All right. It's probably going to be Texans, Eagles.
Don't do that.
Stop being an asshat,
disrespect the show in the segment so much.
I'll give my predictions tomorrow, as I thought you were too, because tomorrow we will still be on the air before the first game kicks off.
Okay. All right. Listen, it was supposed to be today. It was supposed to be today.
Yeah, right. You just remembered with 20 minutes to go, and you looked over in your corner of your eye and you saw something.
It's on the sheet, dude.
It's
on the sheet, bro.
You ever see me go through the sheet? I do it now. It's a show.
It's letter D on the sheet.
Son of a bitch.
Super Bowl predicts. That's a segment, dude. Right there.
I didn't get that memo. You didn't send it to me.
You don't want it, you
One
said.
too many old fashions.
Yeah, 10 a.m. old fashions with General Bob Carpenter.
Mix in a water, dude.
Yeah, while you're wearing your little Ohio State three-piece suit, dude. All right, so tomorrow, you're giving out your Super Bowl.
Why do we even give predictions?
Because it's a sports show.
Hell yeah.
Okay. All right, good. I will give my predictions for the Super Bowl, my two Super Bowl teams.
And by the way, the reason why we do it is so we can just hold it over the people who are wrong's head for the entire season.
Yeah.
You know, last year it happened to be. This year it could be me. Doubt it, but it could be me. You know what I mean?
We're not asking you to pick every fucking division, dude.
Yeah, some people did want that this morning. Connor came in, I think, hot with the, hey, we should pick every division this morning.
Breakdown. I didn't say selections. It was a little different there.
What
breakdown.
Break down every division in football.
Half
Boston
today,
breakdown.
half on Friday.
I appreciate
That sounds terrible.
Well, AJ, Connor's just shooting ideas out because it seems as if aside
You're
from...
right. I shouldn't do that to you, Connor. You're right. At the
Shut
bad
up.
leader, if I was to shoot any ideas on you, this is an open forum. You can throw any idea you want.
Hey, I don't want to bring the umbrella to the brainstorm. You know what I mean? Ted Lasso. That was a good line.
Yeah.
As soon as he said it, because somebody said something very stupid in a brainstorming session, he said, hey, I'm sorry for bringing the umbrella to the brainstorm. Go ahead and let it fire. And I was like, that's a very good line. That's a very good line. That's good leadership, by the way, in said brainstorm. I watched the entire event. Is it all out? Seven?
Yeah.
Is there more?
Yeah. There's 3 more, 8, 9, 10, yeah.
Hey, it's good, AJ.
I've seen the first 3. I think I've almost finished through.
Of season 2?
Yeah.
Of course. You like Coach Nate or no?
The little angry guy now?
Yeah, you like him or no?
I mean,
he has.
I don't really.
So you're not deep enough into this.
No, not at all.
That guy stinks, bro.
He's not even.
Oh, he does. Okay.
They're trying to run his ass out, I think, of the show.
Hopefully.
They may kill him off.
I mean, he has become the worst character, and I didn't think that they were going to have any of those in Ted Lasso.
No, because I loved him last year.
Yeah.
It was a good story, and now it's just like, get this guy off.
He's got to be pissed at the writers now that they make him into somebody that people hate.
Yeah, and then I always wonder, like, do the writers just get mad at people and then they hold grudges, or are they like, hey, it's for the good of the story? It's like, I mean, yeah, I guess you guys are running me off like a great show that I could probably work on for 10 years. There's no reason for you to go this way.
Huh.
We could go this
That's a
another-
possibility. It's also possible that Jay Suds was like, hey, get this motherfucker out of here.
Really?
Write him off the show. That's happened before, too. I'm not
Or
saying that's
maybe,
what's
by the
happened.
way, still 3 episodes left, I guess, from where I'm at. Maybe he comes all the way back around.
Nice good character
That
arc.
happened last year.
That's
To
what I'm thinking.
Roy?
Kind of. No, the cocky young
Jamie
player.
Tart, who's
Jamie
awesome.
Tart,
Tart, Tart,
Jamie Tart, Jamie Tart, Jamie Tart, Jamie Tart.
He's awesome this season,
See?
too.
Great.
He's hysterical.
See the turn.
Yeah, but he wasn't a full-time character, I don't think, last year.
No.
He wasn't.
No, because he got traded.
He was just like a part, like he was a
Supporting player.
Like Nate is in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Anyways,
He's in the Dahn
NFL
Pops.
kicks off tomorrow. Ted Lasso is fucking. I'll wait till they release 3 more episodes. I'm not watching 30 minutes at a time, dude. Get out of my ass. Let's go to Oscar in New Jersey. 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Oscar?
Hey, what's up, Pat McAfee, the boys, AJ Hawk, what's going on?
Oscar, my guy. How you doing, huh?
I'm chilling. Well, I got a Super Bowl prediction. Well, we know we're going to see the Buccaneers and the Chiefs again. I hopefully want to see the Green Bay Packers with that bad man Aaron Rodgers against the Bills.
Okay, Oscar says he likes Bills and Packers, which could happen, by the way. We're talking championship games here. I think there's a couple teams, 5 or 6 of them, that everybody kind of agrees is maybe up in that upper echelon. Some teams could go on a magical run. I remember, and I always say it, but the Giants, that Coughlin was fired, basically, week 8. He was on the hottest seat in the entire NFL. Then they flipped that thing around and go on a run. Nobody expected that team to be able to do what they did. And then they stopped the New England Patriots from having the undefeated season, which still haunts Tom Brady to this day. But normally, I feel like we know who is going to be in the running of who could win this thing. Yep. You know, AJ?
I would imagine. Don't you think there will be a lot of people picking Bills, Packers? It's going to be a lot of Bills, Packers, and a lot of rematch with Chiefs, Bucks. I feel like that's.
What are you
gonna be the
leaning
most.
towards for tomorrow? What are you leaning? Have you done your thought, your brainstorming? Have you?
I like the Bills a lot, but I'm not going to put them in the Super Bowl.
Oh, so you want to do your Super Bowl prediction right now, or no?
No, I'm just fleshing it out in real time.
Seems
I'm
like
just,
you have it, though.
forming my opinion.
Okay, let's go to Bradford and Nashville. What's going on, Bradford, down there in Nashville? What do you want to talk about, pal?
Happy Hump Day, boys. NFL kickoff. Listen, first off, foremost, I think I can speak for all the millions of viewers that tune in, myself included, for a huge shout out to Pat and the boys for bringing back the single most important segment of sports talk show history, which is Aaron Rodgers' fucking Tuesday.
Bradford, we appreciate that, pal. We're lucky to do it. We're lucky people like you watch and listen. It makes no sense, but we appreciate you doing it. We'll continue to do this as long as you continue to do that. Anything? Geez. All right, Bradford. Good call. That was a good call, Bradford. I can't take you eating into the phone, though. That was a good call. I should have hung up on him earlier once he got a good pop anyways. I think you want to talk about the Titans. I saw Titans talk. Nobody's really talking about the Titans. They could be unbelievable as well in the AFC. Is that a team that maybe is in the running for you?
That's possible. Yeah, I mean, Julio is there. That definitely steps them up a notch. Hopefully their defense can stop somebody. Yeah, they're definitely in the running. They're in the handful of teams.
See, they're the favorite in the AFC South, and that makes sense because their offense was, really good last year. Derrick Henry got paid. I mean,
and the rest of the South, we have no clue what they're going to do.
We do know. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts are going to be a football team.
Plus 150 is great value for the Colts to win the division.
I think so too, but I also think we might forget how good the Titans are.
True. And their defense cannot get worse. Their defense was awful last year.
You always can.
Not with Bud Dupree in there.
Yeah, you're right. Bud Dupree, great addition. But yeah, it can always get worse usually.
Hey, you and Vrab's pretty tight, right?
Yeah. Why?
Have you talked to him about the season and all? There's been no chatter about the Tennessee Titans at all, right? I mean, nothing. Julio Jones wore Waffle House cleats. He's always open. And that's really, Julio Jones went there.
They just restructured his contract and gained like $11 million in cap space the other day. But outside of that, we really haven't heard anything from him.
Nothing. I've heard nothing about Tannehill, Derrick Henry. National-wise, I'm sure local, obviously. This is us being, coming from a national perspective outside of the town itself. They might be a fucking team this year, back better than ever, especially after losing to Baltimore and then Baltimore dancing on their grave immediately upon the game ending. I completely forgot about that. There's so many potential storylines here, AJ.
Lewan's back.
Yeah,
There's tons of them, yeah. Lewan will be back from his ACL. That's a huge addition. But what about the Ravens? Like, I feel like at least nationally, are they talking about the Ravens having a chance?
Okay, so let's talk about the Ravens. The Ravens obviously lose J.K. Dobbins, torn ACL in preseason. He is a freak show on the field. That is a massive hit. They're still in conversations with Lamar Jackson for the long-term deal. I mean, there's a lot of that type of stuff going on. But just yesterday, they brought Le'Veon Bell in because they did have a shortage in the running back position. Also happening yesterday was Latavius Murray of the New Orleans Saints was released. Latavius Murray's coming off of his best year. He averaged 4.5 yards per carry last year, 7.5 yards per catch. Absolute freak show. Schefter reported it first, I believe. I thought there was a chance that the Ravens brought in Le'Veon Bell. We're maybe in the middle of negotiating with Le'Veon Bell, and then somebody goes, Latavius fucking Murray's available. Just rip that paper up or whatever. Yeah. I thought that was potentially going to happen, but they signed Le'Veon. Latavius Murray's out there. Lamar Jackson's still a freak show, but some people said they got him figured out. He said, we'll see or whatever. You're right. Nobody's really talking about the Bills, Ravens, Titans, Chiefs, right? Those are the four in the AFC last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, that was the four in the AFC last year. So who joins them? Is it the Colts that join them? Is it the Patriots that get into the game
Browns,
now?
maybe?
The Cleveland Browns. I mean, it feels like there are more teams than ever that could potentially go on a run. And you're right, though. Ravens, Titans, Browns not really getting a lot of conversation right now until probably, 2 weeks in whenever they just play very good football.
I've seen a lot of pundits picking the Chargers to make the playoffs, not to win the division, but to make the playoffs.
So it goes, as far as AFC odds go.
Bro, especially with Staley going over there, who everybody's saying is a massive ordeal because he's quarterback, who's also a defense coordinator.
Whoa.
And all his players like him. And they almost won 8 games last year, more games if they would have just managed situations properly. The Chargers could go on a fucking run, but they're in a division of the Chiefs, obviously. And I don't think
they are.
Dix.
I was going to say, after it goes Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Browns, Titans, it is the Chargers. With the Chargers, Colts, Dolphins are all tied for.
Hey, let's go Dolphins in the conversation. You got to feel pretty good about that, huh?
I mean, got to believe a little bit.
And then in the NFC, that NFC West, stacked.
Oh, man.
Absolutely stacked. The Packers are going to be the Packers for as long as Aaron Rodgers be in there. And then who's coming out of the NFC East? Like, that's literally the conversation. Who's probably Washington, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The top 4 in the NFC are stacked.
Yeah, and the NFC West could fuck that up a little bit because they're going to eat each other potentially. Yeah. They're going to have to eat each other in there. But the AFC, I think, is a much cloudier picture than the NFC, AJ.
Yeah, it is a little bit. When you look at the NFC South, like that's a pretty strong division depending on what the Saints can do with Jameis replacing Drew Brees. I think the Falcons are better than people think they are, and the Panthers are definitely better than they were last year, I think.
The Panthers, I think, are giving up 5 this weekend at home, or 5.5 maybe, at home against the Jets. Obviously, Sam Darnold, Jets rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, Sam Darnold, Matt Rule. Last year, everybody said, hey, made a lot of great decisions. Christian McCaffrey's back in there. I mean, that seems like a game that I'm going to bet on, right? I mean, that feels like a game that I don't know if the Hammer Down boys are, but that feels. Diggs says he's going to stay away from it. Gumpy says he's going to hit it. But there's a lot of the NFC South. I mean, there's not a lot of respect there, I think, for everybody because we all just assume, hey, like it stinks, but you're in. It stinks, but you're in Tom's division. Like, I hate to break to you. And that's how everybody's going to view it. That's why there's not a lot of chatter there. But, I mean, it is. That's why the NFL is the fucking greatest.
Yeah.
There's so many ways that if I was completely passionate behind the Browns, I could go on a run right now. If I was a Browns fan, I could go on a run and explain why. We just won a playoff game last year against our division rival. We got OBJ getting added into an offense that we were just figuring out late. You could go on a run and believe that they're going to go. Just like we talked to Chuck Pagano about Joe Thomas. Your question was a great one. It's like every team, there's a lot of teams this year that should have full belief, like, hey, our team can go on a run, which inevitably leads to heartbreak.
Yeah.
But I think it's setting up for a great NFL season, AJ.
Oh, absolutely. We almost forgot. I didn't forget about them, but yeah, the Browns, like we talk about on paper, sure. If Baker can find a way to take another step forward and play well, like, yeah, they are absolutely a contender.
They could be really fucking good.
Stefanski, second year.
Who they had on defense?
Clowney. John Johnson from the Rams. He was really good in the secondary.
A lot of people, Clowney gets a lot of hate on the internet because I think of the plays he made in college and then his stats, sacks-wise, once he got to the NFL. Now, I do believe he had a hairline fracture and something there for a little bit. And he signed a $100 million deal with Puma before he even played. And I think we were all incredibly excited that Jadeveon Clowney was going to represent the NFL just because as a human species, I mean, he is a that guy is awesome to look at. But I feel like he never gets enough credit.
That's us?
That's a fire alarm.
Fire alarm.
I'm going to investigate.
Yeah. Make sure we don't have a fire, obviously.
Make sure Mitt's alive.
Yeah, we should pull Mitt down from the clouds just to make sure.
Hey, Mitt! Get off the pipe, pal.
Come on.
Good Lord.
Hey, everybody's been smoking his Delta 8 around here.
Oh, maybe that's
no,
what it is.
You know what it is.
What's that?
I mean, they're doing construction literally around the entire building.
They had a miter saw out there just tearing up the. Yeah, I mean.
Come on. Zito just punched the thing. It's off.
It's off in ours.
Now the hallways. Can you hear that, AJ?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, come the fuck on.
So I wonder if it's just a
it's the day
test.
before NFL kickoff.
What are we doing?
I mean.
What if that never ends?
It's not too bad, though,
That's
on my end.
Oh, it's terrible here, though.
Oh, yeah.
Did you shut ours off, Z? What happened?
Is there a fire?
There is a button that we can shut them off. We did shut them off.
Can you?
We can't control that side, though.
Fuck.
Hey, Mitt, will you go tell them to push the button? What if there's an actual fire, though, and we're just sitting here? That's what you always got to fear. That's like in a hotel. You ever been in a hotel where the fire alarm goes off, and you're laying down, you're like, bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then every single time, by the way, I've been right when I chose not to. And then there's been one time where I have been at a hotel that was on fire, and I actually was forced out of my bed. I always just assumed that they would actually come get me if it's an actual problem. Mm-hmm. What if this building is burning down because there is saws everywhere right now and maybe some oil shit going on?
I feel like we'd be able to smell smoke.
I don't see any flames.
This is where we go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I go down right here in this studio, fucking.
I think the hallway one's off now.
Goddamn right.
I hope I get down like this. You know what I mean? Like,
if we see the fire coming in through behind you, we'll tell you to pick up the thing.
And I'll just lock it in so that when they find us like 100 years from now or whatever.
We should reenact the.
Fire, they're just going to burn.
You're going to turn into ash.
We should reenact the dog house burning gif. Everything is fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
This is good.
This is fine.
I forget what we were talking about because we just got interrupted by the most obnoxious sound on earth.
The Browns.
Clowney.
Oh, Clowney never gets credit for. He's a disruptor if he wants to. Like
the Seahawks defense literally only lost him, and they were much worse last year at the start of the season until they got Dunlap and Adams was healthy.
Yeah, but he can just pick people up and disrupt them, especially with Myles Garrett on that line with him, who can pick people up. He can take things off. He can do everything like that. That Browns team, legit, not enough conversation about him, and we apologize for that, Browns fans.
Well, I think everyone still feels like they have to prove themselves again. Like the Browns always have to keep proving themselves. With all these expectations people have, they're like, the Browns will be the Browns eventually.
The Browns is the Browns, says Juju.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they got the Chiefs right away, so we're going to find out.
I don't think we learned anything week one, by the way. Let's remember that. And fans, I think fans should remember this as well. We will overreact on Monday because it is Overreaction Monday. Okay? We will absolutely do that. But whenever we land on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday there, Coach Supchuck Wednesday, or Thursday Night Football Thursday, or whatever we land, we will find a level again and understand that what a team looks like week one might not be anything what they look like even week two, let alone week 5, week 6. And with a 17-game season, one game being added, a lot of things can turn around for a team depending upon how they start, whether it's good or bad, AJ Hawk.
I say it all the time. Yeah, good or bad, especially week one early in the season. You should not get too high or too low on your team. Like, think about, put yourself in December. Like, say it's the beginning of December, and you're like, hey, you remember the week one? They look good, though, man. We thought they were going to win the Super Bowl. Like that, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, of course you want to get out to a fast start, but, yeah, you got to figure it out at the end of the year, man, most likely.
Man. This fucking fire alarm.
Yeah, I can't concentrate on anything.
Still going?
Mitt has like a sweater over the hallway one right now, so we can hear it less.
Oh. It's
kind of working.
Tell me
It is lower.
I open the door and I see Mitt standing against the wall with his hoodie covering the fire line. I can't find the box.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mitt, that's the type of shit, baby.
Work, man.
I can't get it to turn off, but I can make it a little quieter.
How long do I have to fucking stand
Well, the thing
here?
is, he sets his off in his apartment building every single night. But
Yeah, and I'm surprised he doesn't just go get.
Where's the towel?
He's gonna get the paper towel roll.
Oh, yeah.
Smart. I try to put it. Let's go to the 5-hour energy phone line. Let's go to Kane down there in Alabama. Roll Tide, Kane. Roll Tide.
Hey, roll tide, Pat. Yes. Hey, Jay, boys. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, Pat, shout out to you and Gumpy for kicking COVID in the fucking mouth, dude.
We TJ won that thing. Hey, God! You know what I mean? That was awesome. Felt good. Thank you so much for that, Kane. We are very happy. There were some moments, I think, where we both were probably feeling a little bit lonely with our thoughts while you're locked in isolation, seclusion. I at least have my wife battling alongside me. You're all by yourself in there. So we appreciate that, Kane. Thank you for your well wishes. Congrats to your Alabama team, by the way. Looks like they're not going to lose by, or they're not going to win by less than 30 all year. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Hey, not just the college team. Everybody that's doing good in the league right now, man. I feel like we've got a bunch of guys that are just studs right now in the NFL as well. So
yeah, what's that
it's
all
a good
about?
time to be an Alabama fan.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. It is. It feels like it always is a good time to be an Alabama fan, especially since 2007, I guess, is when people were tweeting me whenever I put out a hey. It must be nice to be a Bam fan because you can always talk shit, like always be able to do it. And not from 1993 to 2007 or whatever. It's like okay. That's 14 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, who is... And then I got a bunch of band fans that are like, if you survive the Shula era, you should be able to enjoy the hell of this. And I didn't even know that happened. I didn't pay attention to college football enough. But that factory is just never ending right there. And a lot of NFL guys, Mac actually talked about that, where he chatted about Waddle and a couple other players saying they prefer, this is in these private conversations that got leaked publicly, very fucked up, where Waddle and Devontae Smith said that they liked Mac and whatever. He said, I think we were all lucky to play with the receivers we played with at Alabama. I guess they have their preference, but we all produced when we were in at quarterback. Mac Jones handles every situation right. He handles it like he's a 50-year-old man. I said that, and I think that is why I think Mac Jones is going to have so much success, AJ.
I mean, yeah, he seems to mix it in, though. Like, he shows his personality, and then he comes right back to, like, his cliche coach speak type stuff that you want to hear from your franchise QB. Not in a bad way, but, like, he says the right things.
Yeah, you want your QB to say the right things. Now, I want players to show the case their personalities as well. But if you're a team, a fan of a team, you want your quarterback just to be like the role model. Like, we want you to, hey, listen, just be all for the team. You want to recruit players to play here. You want to take less money to play here. You represent everything that's good. Let us go talk shit and be very happy about it, basically. And it feels like Mac Jones has that check mark.
What?
Now, can he play football in the NFL or not?
Yeah, we're going to find out, and especially because of the point with all the other Alabama players, if he is going to be recruiting guys, he can just recruit the dudes who, went to his alma mater and just say, hey, Jerry Jeudy, come on in. Let's play some football in here.
And I did see that the checkdown made logos for all the greatest players in the NFL, and Najee Harris got one of them.
Trevor Lawrence as well.
Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall pick, cool. He's going to be a quarterback in the NFL. It's a quarterback-driven league. Najee Harris, though, he has a lot of pressure on his shoulder pads out there in Pittsburgh. People are expecting him to be a complete game changer. As a Steeler fan, you feel that he's going to step up and produce?
He looked really, really, really good in preseason. I don't take that for what it's worth, but he did not disappoint yet.
He had good wiggle, too.
Oh, yeah.
Powerful wiggle.
Yep.
He seems to be a guy.
Catch, run.
Everything.
Ben Roethlisberger's got those tiny little arms, too. We saw it on ESPN this morning. He just got turned around and fucking...
I mean, it was against the Lions, but he made the Lions look terrible.
Okay.
Broke O'Cooley's ankles.
Foxy, nobody's talking about the Lions, by the way, and I didn't hear you chirp up one time. I didn't hear you chirp up. All right, Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl. What is it, the Lions' fault then? Not the quarterback's fault. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Lions.
Wrapping up this incredible show today. Can't thank Chuck enough and everybody that listened and watched wherever the hell you may be. Chris Mad Dog Russo on the other side of this 6-minute break. 5 seconds, AJ. Anything to say to the listeners?
Nope.
Me neither. We love you guys. Thanks for letting us penetrate your ear holes. A much better show's coming on the other side of this 6-minute break. We'll see you manana. Cheers. Okay. Spinning plates back there. Zito.
Yeah.
Zito's got a handle. The fire alarm going on.
Yeah.
The audio. The graphics. The searching of the internet. And also, not sound like a stooge whenever he decides to speak.
Right.
Zito,
Tough.
really impressive stuff.
Hats off,
Really impressive stuff. Tomorrow, Nick will be sliding into the audio world. Can't wait to see how that goes. Excited for it, Nick. Hey.
So where does he change seats?
Yeah, so he'll move here. Gumpy will move back to the ripping and clipping seat, which is back there. Diggs will remain out here. And then hammered down, I got to figure out how we're going to do hammered down throughout the season because it becomes much more important to me, which is a very selfish move. But when you guys were betting on all those sports that I knew nothing about, I mean, I would just tail you guys because you're on incredible heaters, but I kind of hated putting money on sports that I know nothing about.
Tough.
Football season, though, I think we're all going to be pretty antsy to maybe give out our thoughts for a little bit. Some might run and hide if they get cold.
Never. Never.
What do you mean?
No, we won't do that, actually. So we got to figure out how we're going to operate hammer down in here as well. What are we going to do then, you think? I don't know. Maybe after this. So maybe it's immediately after hours. You just slide in from your gripping and ripping and sipping and spitting thing, come into here. Somebody, we'll figure it out. We got a lot to figure out, AJ, still as we go here.
Got plenty of time.
Not really. Scene starts tomorrow. Scene starts tomorrow.
Is Lombardi still coming on with you?
Nah, so that has become a thing. You know, he'll make appearances, I believe.
He has like 15 different jobs right now.
Yeah, and we wanted him, and I think he wanted to come back as well. But I mean, there's trillions of dollars right now. There's
a lot of things.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't want to say bullshit going on, but
politics.
He works for a company.
Business.
He works for a company that's owned by another.
Yeah, he's a pretty big advocate of another. You know.
Oh yeah, out in Vegas he does stuff.
Not
right?
just Vegas, everything else he does as well.
Everywhere.
I mean, it's like the whole thing. And this company right here has been very nice to us. And we are big fans of the way this thing operates. So it's like, they didn't tell us this. It's just kind of like me trying to figure out, like, what do I do here? And then Lombardi, I think, understands completely. You know, I mean, I think he gets it, you know. These people have been very fucking nice to us.
Oh, yeah.
The best.
These people right here.
That's cool. That's cool you're doing that. You didn't even have to like reach out to him and say, hey, I don't want a weird conflict here.
Well, the interesting thing is we are going into a negotiation with them as well here. So I could have potentially used it as like, you know, great leverage probably if I wanted to and just kind of got away with it, whatever. But like, I appreciate them. Like, I'm a pretty loyal fucking guy. Like, I'm very thankful for them. So
aside from whoever gives quotes in those stories that you don't like.
that guy's going to have to figure out how to speak better.
That's right.
For a deal to be done, I think. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why can you turn music on over here? The sound, Z? I mean, that literally my favorite intro is...
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally.
Like, that should not be because of a marketing person's mouth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's something that will get probably talked about.
Do you think that person's even aware of that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey,
good.
Jay. Yeah.
Good.
You know, we've created a pretty cool thing here. You know, this entire thing. I'm very lucky to have everybody be a part of this. And I have because I live in my own world, I keep my blinders on. Literally the only time I see the public is when I'm at SmackDown or a WWE event. And I don't even know if any of those people actually watch this show. Like, I honestly don't know if there is a massive
crossover.
I don't think there is that big of a crossover, to be honest. I wish. I think some people maybe that are fans of this show watch SmackDown and maybe they're like, found out that they enjoyed it or rekindled a like for it. But I think there's a lot of people that watch the show that are like, hey, stop talking about fucking wrestling. I can't do it. And then there's a lot of wrestling people that are like, hey, football is the worst. Like, what are you? So I don't know how much crossover. So literally the only time I get out into public to see humans is when I'm introduced at SmackDown or whatever, you know? And that has been so much fun. That has been very cool. But I guess we do have a pretty good little following that, you know, I don't really get to see ever. I can't wait to once we start doing live shows. But I guess the shillelagh I'm swinging these days, I guess, is much larger than it was. I didn't know that because I don't really get to experience it much. But then you start hearing stories of how people are like, not at FanDuel, but other companies like, hey, is Pat happy? Is everything okay with Pat? And then I'll get a text like, hey, are you happy with this company or whatever? I'm like, yeah, dude, why wouldn't I be? They're like, They just want to make sure that everything's good or whatever. I'm like, oh, am I that guy now? Like, okay, so all right. So am I Jimmy Galante now? Is that, is this? Things could be a little bit better. No, it's and I think that's a good thing, by the way. And I will probably continue to do that. And I want to do live shows because I would like to put a face to the people that fucking have supported us. And it has been an honor to honestly be the dancing monkeys on the screen for you through one of the most insane times in the history of history. Okay, the whole world shut down. But I think that's what we have to do. Because I would like to go see the people that do this. Because I'm here, and then I go home. And then I'm here, and then I go home. And then I hop on a plane, fly to SmackDown. Then I hop on a plane, fly back to home. And then I'm here, and then I'm home. I don't really see anybody or anything. And then all of a sudden, like, some company that's based in LA or whatever is like, hey, is everything okay? Are you happy with us? Can we do anything differently? It's like, why are you speaking to me this way? We're like an important partner. Oh, this is very cool. This is a cool thing to be. I think you get a chance to experience a little bit more than me even. And it's really cool whenever you say to me like, hey, I was at my kids, blah, 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 and a bunch of kids said blah, blah, blah to us. Like, that is cool to me to hear. Like, I don't really necessarily know anything about that, to be honest. And it's my fault, I guess, because I don't go in public.
Well, no, you're just protecting everybody, right? By staying kind of like a mini quarantine at all times. That's what you and Sam do.
Bingo. You're
right.
I might say that forever. I'm quarantining. I don't want to give you guys anything. Sorry about that. Sorry.
You're going to ride that one out for the next 20 years, aren't you?
Hey, AJ's going to be, hey, you want to come back to my little circus cocktail party thing?
Actually got a quarantine.
Hey, wife and I,
Can't do it.
Sorry about it. You're kind of an asshole. You never really do anything. No, I'm the better.
What are you talking about?
I'm better than you. I'm a better person than you are. I care about how people feel at that place, and I don't want to be the one that spreads anything. You remember what happened back in 2020? You remember what happened back in 2019? You're a bad guy. I'm a better person than you. That's what I use over everybody. But I want to fucking get back out there. I want to see people.
Yeah.
I want to see our people. I really do. I don't think I ever have since we have become where we are now. You know what I mean?
I agree. People are awesome. Yeah, I do usually let you know when different random people tell me things about the show and always mention, like, you could tell that people are invested. Like, they mention like inside jokes to me about different people, and of course people love to comment on my hands and fingers. And it makes me smile. Like when people are like, man, his fingers really are that big. They're not even saying it to me. They're saying it as they're walking by or something.
Yeah, you're just catching that sound. Or your wife is like, did you hear what that guy just said?
It was very rude.
And I'm laughing. I'm like giving a fist bump. I was like, yeah, all right, guys.
Hey, did you see Deion Sanders' hands? It makes sense, by the way, because of either him grabbing jerseys and everything he's done. Whenever he speaks, by the way, Coach Prime is on a rocket ship. I wish I could invest in a college coach, like somehow in a stock market. Like, hey, who's going to get a big-time SEC job if he wants it? Now, I'm not saying he will want to leave Jackson State. I think he is very proud of everything they got going on there. But Coach Prime is going to get an opportunity, I think, very quickly.
Soon.
Yeah.
With everything he's got cooking up there. Hey, he's got some fingers now, too, that just do the old...
Turn around.
Play this. This is amazing.
Turn around.
It's recruiting.
He got his darn name on the back of his jersey. You can turn back around. Why we don't do that in the swag?
Huh?
Is it that expensive to put the darn name on the back of the jerseys? Don't you think his mama Nim wanted to see their baby name on the back of the jerseys?
100% right.
His siblings, his friends, his family, his loved
Even
ones?
high school.
That's the kind of stuff we take for granted. I don't. I'm very detailed. That guy worked his butt off, did what he had to do, changed his whole composite of his thought process. We can at least put his darn name on the back of his jersey. How simple is that? What is that, an extra $5 a jersey? I'd take care for the whole swag if they do it.
What a guy.
Constance will help. Well, you already out there. You already blessed the whole team with suits. It's my business manager who makes it happen for me and him. But those are the type of things. We're very detailed. We're very detailed with the little things. And our kids deserve that, don't they?
Look at his hands, though. I mean, his hands are massive.
Yeah.
They are fucking massive. And when I see, like, one's like shooting this way or whatever, it's like, oh, there's a guy that has done a lot of things. And I remember his reality show. He used to ride a, Segway around his house because his feet, right? Because of how corners, let alone your feet and everything like that. The amount of abuse he put through his body, being top 2 athlete in the history of Earth.
up there for
I mean,
sure.
every conversation, basically, Bo would be the other.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo and Dion are probably the conversation on who is the greatest athlete of all time. The fact that he is like so committed and all the way in on Jackson State, and then he says things that are like, yeah, why is this even a thing? I think he is in the coaching world if he wants to. He wanted that Florida State job bad. They're like, man, get the fuck out of here, basically. I think he probably took that a little bit of a shot across the bow.
Yeah, I wonder how many years he's going to have to win there, like consistently, to where he does get like a legit, pretty big opportunity. But yeah, the name on the jersey thing, it seems like it's a small thing, but it makes complete sense. He's 100% right. Yeah, just it makes it look like makes it look Mickey Mouse when you don't have the name on the back of your jersey. I think, especially if your opponent has their name. I know there's like the old tradition, Notre Dame, Penn State, they don't have it. I still think they should put it on there. I think it helps everybody. It helps the player. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, and I get that you can spin this as a traditional football player. It's not about the name on the back of the jersey. Okay, it's on the name in the front or whatever. And these guys, are they here to play football or are they here to put themselves over? It's like, what about what Dion just said? Like, my entire community, family.
Yeah, the work.
Like, hey, I'm
You don't think it helps his grandma? Like, if your grandma's in the stands wanting to see you, like, hey, where is? Like, oh, look, you see the name on the back. That's a special moment for your family.
Yeah, I just don't understand. And I guess that's old school, and they were probably able to get by with saying, like, either the financial side of it or we don't do that here. Because
no, it's the dumb thing. The argument, because I bring this up all the time to even high school, college. I tell people, like, you should have the names on your jerseys. Every team, I feel like. And the argument 100% of the time, oh, you play for what's on the front of your jersey, not the back of your jersey. Okay, cool. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Then we're done.
Hey, you never played for anything, it sounds like. You watched, AJ, you should say to those people, oh, you watched me play for the name on the front of a jersey you're a fan of, is what you did. It sounds like. Because I think anybody that plays, unless they are just...
It's not selfish. People think it's like a selfish move to have a name on your back.
To have pride in yourself.
Absolutely not.
To have pride.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, the team should have pride that they have a hawk on the team as well. You know, like, hey, this is our roster. That's just that old school shit, I guess. And Dion's like, $5 a pair, I'll fucking pay for everybody in the goddamn league.
With NIL, too, why, if you're a kid going in there and be like, oh, my name's not going to be on the back of my jersey? Fuck that. No, I'm not going there.
Yeah, it's great. Everything Dion does and says, whether it's with Dana, I think, and Booze, documenting and cutting things for him, and the Barstool, Gilly getting... Got a personal foul. I mean, just the attention that has been brought to Jackson State, everything he says, it's like this guy genuinely cares, I think, about his players. And if you do that and you also have a resume and you're also on the side, like, players are going to gravitate towards that wherever. And I think that's why Jackson State, what he's been able to do down there has been amazing. I don't think it's going to be that long before some big bank having sons of bitches at some school are going to be like, hey, Dion, we need everything you did there just to bring it here. And here's this whole thing. You would hope, at least. You would hope that they would want to do
You think he'll wait for his kids to graduate since he's got, I think he has 2 kids right now on the team?
They'd probably transfer portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come, I think. My kid's starting quarterback, though?
Yeah. Well, I guess I get to make that decision.
Oh, because you gave me the power. That's crazy. Congrats to my son. Hey.
Yeah.
Good work.
If he's best player, obviously.
Well, and they just...
Coach Prime ain't doing anything that ain't best for the team.
Florida State just hired Mike Norvell, but I feel like all roads lead to him eventually going back to Florida State and
But
getting
does
that
he
job.
want to? Because he openly campaigned for that job.
True.
Openly campaigned for it, very loud. After success in high school ranks, right? I think he's coaching high school before this, right? Had to have.
I think so, yeah.
Had to have. He openly campaigned for that job. Hey, I love the school. The school has done everything for me. I already a good coach, like the whole thing. And then I don't even think they interviewed him.
Yeah, I don't know if they did.
I don't even think they interviewed him. So I don't know Coach Prime, as well as I don't know him at all. But if that's me, I mean...
Fuck you guys
there's
forever.
A chance, there's a
No
chance. And he's probably much more of a better businessman than I am, where he won't just do that type of thing or whatever. But I don't know. That would be something, I think, if he gets an opportunity to go to another school that is a Power 5 conference school or whatever in Florida State. And now Norvell might have them boys back, by the way, especially with Mackenzie Melton coming.
Sure.
True.
You know what I mean? And maybe they'll have those boys back and it won't be a question. But that was a big deal, I remember, when they wouldn't even interview him, I don't think.
Well, could you imagine if, like, Lincoln Riley decided to make the jump to the NFL and Oklahoma was just like, you know what, fuck it, bring in Prime right now.
Bro, he's got that massive estate in Texas, right? I mean, Texas is very large, so who knows how far that actually is. But
he's got a
quick flight.
PJ, I'm sure. Yeah.
Quick flight.
His son is the starting quarterback at his team right now.
Yeah, and I think also corner too, right?
I
Guy
do
from
not
South
know that
Carolina,
one.
I think.
Yeah, there's 2.
Oh, yeah.
I think he transferred. I think.
Have you heard? Hey, Eddie George is coaching the team. Have you heard anything how that went?
So I guess that team is terrible because I searched and I don't know for sure, but the headline I read is Eddie George has a tall task turning around Tennessee State back to greatness or something. I forget the exact headline, but the way it read, and I didn't read the article, so I'm doing what a lot of people do, which is a massive problem in our society, okay, and now especially going on to a microphone and saying it or whatever. But it seemed like that is going to be a very difficult thing to do for that particular school and everything like that. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what the headline read.
They lost 16-10 week 1 to Grambling.
Hey, Gramblin's good.
They played Dion this week.
Coach Brown, please. We don't know him like that. Coach Brown.
Coach Sanders.
Just like Garrett.
So I think what's going to happen is this, especially after this Aflac thing. You know, Saban's probably a fan of Deion Sanders, by the way. There's probably not a lot of people that Nick Saban is a fan of as a human that's in the coaching realm. Look for Coach Prime to potentially get, you know, once these two offensive coordinator, defense coordinator staffs go and take over a program, you know, hey, Coach Prime, go ahead and bring your fucking squad on in here. And then next year you'll be able to coach wherever the hell you want or whatever. And that's all because that goddamn goose is walking around, the duck or whatever the hell it is.
Him as DC up there.
Running that thing.
That'd be awesome.
It would be. Now, would Coach Prime want to do that because it would be still Saban's thing?
Yeah, because,
I don't know. Who knows? I think the future is very bright, though. I wish I could, invest in that thing. What's going on with crypto? Is it dead or not?
Brady just joined.
Brady just joined?
Or not
he's
just joined, but
so
he's now
Curry,
in
so
this cryptocurrency, and Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry was asking people, wasn't he? He was asking, hey, for some advice?
Was he? Was it real? Because he got equity in the company.
He was asking for advice via Twitter, I think. And
there was some good advice.
I don't think he needs to worry about crypto. Steph Curry.
What are you talking about?
What was his? Yeah, or Brady. Those guys got so much goddamn money that it doesn't matter.
Well, he also got some of the best advice you could ever ask.
Well, the advice he got.
Gary Vee gave him advice.
Gary Vee told him.
Wait, excuse me? I don't know this.
Oh, you do know this. That's why
No, I don't. I absolutely don't.
Hey, you busted out that stop sign as quick as you possibly could in the conversation because we were moving past it. As soon as Diggs even gave you an inkling that we might go ahead to what you wanted to, you busted out that red octagon as quick as possible. What's that?
I heard the key name. I heard Gary Vee, and so now I'm interested.
What did Gary Vee tell him?
Trying to find it right now.
50 hours of research.
Something about his grandma?
50 hours of research is what Gary Vee said you need to do
Yeah,
before you do anything.
Steph Curry asked for help, I guess, and allegedly Gary Vee responded telling him that he should do 50 hours of research. And I think Connor should respond and said 100 hours of research. Yeah, I think that's why he's asking Twitter. So
it's like when someone says, hey, I'm going to give it 110%. I'm like, cool, I'll give 111 then because that's stupid. It makes no sense.
But you are giving more effort than they are, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Then they go 112. We can go all day.
Hey, listen, you're going to go 112. That's going to force me to go. Guess what? 113, dude. No.
Whoa. I'm going to go 113.1.
50 hours of homework. There it is. Steph Curry says, just getting started in crypto game. Y'all got any advice? 50 hours of homework, says Gary Vee. Okay, well, I think Steph went to Twitter, so he didn't have to do that. I also like the fact that Steph Curry's in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. That's what his crypto thing is?
I thought it was the FT.
So that's Bored Ape right there, right? That's the
McManus thing.
I have almost dabbled into this particular world a lot, but I literally slept on it for a week. And by the time the week came and gone, these apes were so fucking expensive. Yeah. I couldn't even get into the game or whatever. So Steph's all the way in. He's got, by the way, these apes are incredibly cool. You can decorate them. You can design
but can we clarify? What does 50 hours of homework look like? What does that mean?
Well, you start a stopwatch.
That's right.
And then you go onto your phone and you search crypto, and then you just scroll through the articles.
Yeah. Read everything on Google for the first 50 pages or so.
Well, and you also have to go get the book Crypto for Dummies.
That's right.
Read that.
Depending upon your reading speed,
Yeah.
It'll have an estimated time of hours that this book should take that it would deduct off of the 50. It's like whenever you go to a mechanic and you ask them hey, I need you to fix this, they go to a book that tells them how many hours they should charge you for that fix. Even though it might take 1/8 of that because that's this person's specialty, you're still getting charged that. Or it might take longer, you're only getting charged for what it says. So for the crypto book for dummies, it has a projected hour time there that you take out of the 50 hours thing of homework.
And I think he's also counting 5 hours just to cool down and go check out garage sales and see what's going on in there. That's part of the...
No.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Because you don't want to burn
yourselves out.
You
stop the stopwatch.
Then you go do that.
Then you go do that. Then he come back. And by the way, don't even start it until
you have it, yeah.
Your spot in the book.
Yep.
And you thought about your family dying.
Shooting your grandma in the chest with a combat shotgun.
That's only for 5 seconds, though. That's only 5 seconds of the day.
Was that said? Was that said?
Yeah. I mean, that was the gist of it.
You heard it. You watched the clip. Watch it every morning.
You guys have seen way more than I have.
No, you're a terrible person as well, and you guys are the fucking worst people on earth.
Oh.
Gary Vee did not deserve any of this.
I
You're
love
taking
Gary
all of his
Vee.
quotes
I
out of
really do.
context.
I really do.
Oh, you love him, huh?
Gary
Just
Vee.
like
I do.
Howie Roseman loves Carson Wentz, huh?
Well, I mean, I can't speak to that, but I do love Gary Vee very much.
Smart guy.
His wines are delicious.
They are so good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
His drawings, unbelievable.
I got a bone to pick with those, but the wine is delicious.
Wait, he has drawings?
Optimist daughter, dude.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Listen, I
Pop
am,
one up, please.
No, listen. As somebody who has had to go through this world of the internet, I have taken a lot of information from Gary Vee and everything that he spills out for free to people on a daily basis. Now, we should all be paying him to follow him.
Yeah.
That's right. $200,000.
No, that's the work for him. But I think there are some things that he puts out there that he has to go, all right, this seemed to be like some bullshit here. I probably shouldn't have put that out. But Ty, Connor, Diggs, even you, AJ, I will not stand for any Gary Vee slander on this thing. Okay, not on this show.
I just said his wine was delicious.
Yeah, but then the way you followed it up with whatever. At this point, I don't even remember what derogatory thing you said about him.
I just said I had a bone to pick with the drawings.
No, you remember. He
What?
said to think about one of your loved ones getting their throat slit every day for 10 seconds in the shower every morning to put your life in perspective.
Every time I sip one of Gary's wines, I think about it as the blood of my family members that was spilled for me to live on.
Christ. Right.
I know somebody that worked for Gary Vee. Said it was a great experience.
Okay, I think we know the same person, and he did say.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, might be. Let's go to Derek in Indiana. Derek on the 5-hour NG phone line. Last
Big
call of the
learning
day.
experience.
Yeah, I heard it's awesome. What do you want to talk about, Derek?
Hey, Pat, how's it going?
Not too shabby. Mostly because I wake up in the morning and I read Gary Vee's words.
That's right.
And you guys need to do a little bit more of it. Maybe this whole toxic table would change a little bit.
What words are you reading? I thought we were reading the same stuff.
Foxy, thank you for getting my back here and Gary Vee's back.
Love Gary.
Me too. Anyways.
Me too. Me 3.
Me 4.
Oh, yeah.
5.
Me 6.
Me 5.
Derek, what do you want to talk about, man? You guys are the worst. All of you, all 6
I'll read any information as long as it's valuable. Even 900 pages.
What was that about?
Oh, you know what it's about.
It's about Doc.
I've been reading Gary V's emails, pal.
Okay, thank you. That's good news for artificial deep fake Gumpy, actually. Hopefully that'll osmosis through to real Gumpy. Maybe it'll get a little bit better. What's the 900 pages?
Just information that came out yesterday.
Fudge.
I'm not so sure Gumpy and
I thought you were going to
Fudge.
talk about Warren Sharp's fucking book. I thought that's what you were talking about. I was about to say, let's not bury Warren Sharp. There it is.
What happened?
It's an encyclopedia.
We missed it. You got to do it one more again. That's what we do. Okay, hammer time.
It's good info.
Drop that book down. Really learn a lot of things.
Is that the book? Is that the book that Gump is talking about?
Okay, AJ. I didn't know what book Gump was. All right, deep fake Gump. Enough. I did not know that that's where he was headed. Okay, how could I have known? I should have expected.
Where is he headed?
Well, coming out of the COVID cave, obviously the 900 pages wasn't referring to the Bible that Warren Sharp put together of football analytics. He was talking about Doc. You were talking about Doc or Mister
Tony?
Foch.
Yeah.
What came out? Is this on Connor's internet or yours?
He was trending for about 12 hours yesterday with Wuhan.
Oh.
But the tweet that Twitter put with it was that U.S. hospitals were almost full.
Oh, so you're saying Twitter and Foch were maybe a tag team?
I mean,
there's a lot of tag teams.
Hey, we are dancing awfully close to a line we don't need to go. This all has to be 100% true before you say it. Look at that face, camera. Put the camera on that face. Would that face lie about anything over there?
I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
I read the stuff.
Yeah, you do. You read stuff, all the good stuff.
I read the stuff. They put it out there. Are they lying? That's on them.
Who's lying?
We read
Not
the
me.
stuff.
Zeke, you're right. It is. It's
Still gotta call
no.
it
It's no
mine.
bull.
No bull.
Well, we did come to a conclusion about these no bullshits.
Look,
is they are knockoff Toms, which makes sense, by the way, with the entire situation going on up there in England.
England. What's going on? What do you mean? What's going on in New England? Now you think that there's some bull going on in New England? There's no bull going on in New England. It's all business, baby.
Hey, those shoes look a lot better on the internet, right, than they do in real life.
I mean, look, I'll say this: I wanted the plum ones because purple's cool. Dark purple kind of goes with everything. They were sold out, so I had to get these ones.
So you were making a decision strictly off of what goes well with things, and you thought plum was better than black.
Yeah, plum was my go-to. First choice by far. Second choice was a little bit of a lighter plum, more of a lavender. Third choice was these ones because they were the only ones that were in my size.
Do you know where you have not won a single thing in this office while wearing those no bulls? Are you worried that Mac Jones is making decisions that aren't really necessarily set up for winning because that's what you've experienced with his shoe line of choice?
No, because I still have not yet to lose a NFL football game yet while wearing these shoes.
True. That's no bull, dude.
Will Mac
no
wear
bull.
those spikes? Like, will he have no bull spikes?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tough for no bull to get on the field, I think. The NFLPA is not going to legitimize those knockoff.
I don't think they're licensed.
Yeah, those cross-training Toms.
These aren't knockoff Toms. These are no bulls.
Those look
And
like
they
they're
don't
made
bring
from
bull.
recycled car bumpers, Paul.
That's because I care about the world. See, I told you I'm a better person than you are.
All right. I don't think they're donating any shoes like Tom's is. That's the only thing that's different between no bull and Tom's.
No, they donate.
Because I'm a better person than you.
No, I'm a better person than you are because they donate to sites that don't tell lies and they only tell the truth. This is a truther shoe right here.
No bull.
No bull.
Yeah.
Derek in Indiana, sorry we went off on a little bit of a tangent there. What do you want to talk about, pal, in the 5-hour energy phone line?
Hey, no worries at all. I enjoyed it. This morning, Dan Orlovsky was on Get Up, and he was making a case that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could go undefeated this season. I think that's bullshit, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Why do you think it's bullshit?
Well, one, that's just really difficult. That's hard to achieve. It's hard to accomplish. But two, in this COVID era, players are going to be out every week. So, we don't know if the Bucs' best players will even be available to put up a performance and win.
I think that is an incredible point that there is a lot of question marks going into the season because somebody might contract COVID. Who was breathing into the microphone, by the way? Was that Derek?
That was an XL.
Okay. All right.
Back out.
Hey, you've been working your ass off back there, by the way. And I just didn't know if we need to send a doctor to Derek. Now we just know it is Zito. It's okay. So the Orlovsky take that the Buccaneers can go 17-0. I mean, that is not that crazy, right?
No.
I do like the fact that Orlovsky's potentially on the side of understanding that Tom has mentioned going undefeated being his only regret basically throughout his entire career. And what more does he have to play for at this point? How do you continue to stack chips after winning another Super Bowl and say we can do this again? I don't know. I understand it's very difficult. It's only happened one time. 72 Dolphins, they still pop bottles, and Dolphins fans still celebrate it, I assume, every single year whenever the final undefeated team loses. But that roster is built to do it. There's only been a couple rosters, I think, that have really been built to do it in modern football. That team is willing to do it, but I guess that's a good point, that we have no idea if somebody's going to get COVID on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, I mean, he takes a lot of immunity pills and treats himself very well. What if somebody in the hotel puts something on his what if something happens on his doorknob, and it's like you have no idea what could happen in this whole world, AJ. That's a very accurate statement by Derek.
Yeah, what if he plays in Buffalo and he accidentally brushes into one of the Bildos? I don't know if they played this year, but talking about Orlovsky, I saw him, I believe it was this morning or yesterday, he really threw a wrench in the whole system of the show when he said oatmeal cookies are better than chocolate chip cookies. Now, I watched it real time. Greeny almost pounded him right there live on air. Well, it was good.
I would like to see Mike Greenberg fight Dan Orlovsky by the end.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I think a lot of people would like to see that. We will continue to try to make sure that happens. Dan Orlovsky also didn't wear any socks today. Did you see that on Get Up?
Didn't wear socks.
Good guy.
No, Zito. Listen, I am just going to guess that Dane Orlovsky's feet do not reach the stench that your feet do somehow. No. It is a talent that you have that I don't think a lot of other people have.
I'm a changed man.
Yeah, I know you
don't
are.
smell no more.
I think you wear socks, right? No.
No. I stopped eating salt.
Oh.
That's not true.
That's not true at all.
That's not true at all. He just had
Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of sodium in those.
Yeah, it was a sodium overload.
Chuck
so
E.
my
Cheese.
feet
How do you
might-
get Chuck E. Cheese?
Frozen pizza now. They just released it.
I think General Tso's chicken as well. Yesterday morning, loaded that thing up. I mean, salt is one of the main ingredients that you do eat.
I usually say minus the sodium.
Oh, okay.
So that's
So you order General Tso's minus the sodium. Can I get the sodium-free General
On the
Tso's?
side, please.
With the shrimp fried rice as well, please. Hold the sodium. Shout out to you, Zeke. You're the best.
Yep, thank you.
Orlovsky season, man, is the greatest, though. We're about to hit it. Full
Can't
stride.
wait.
last year he said 6 different guys are going to be the MVP.
Yep. Josh Allen week 3, I think. Week 4.
Yeah. And by the way, that's what he fell back on was. I've been saying it since week 3. He took like 6 shots. It's the guys that go fishing and they have just 6 lines
out there. Yeah.
And then just the one that hits. He said, well, remember, I had this fucking one
I was crushing
since the beginning. I had this one the whole time. I love Dan, dude. I'm excited for Dan to be on TV more often, and that's what football season is. Dan Orlovsky on TV. Him and Greenberg almost fought there for real this morning?
No, they didn't almost fight, but they were so upset with Dan and his oatmeal cookie over chocolate chip cookie. They just couldn't believe it.
That's been his new thing. Like, hey, I'm the whitest human of all time tweets. You know what I mean?
Has it really?
Yeah, that's been his new thing. It's a new series with Dan Orlovsky. Like, hey, nobody's whiter than me. And he displays that with a opinion of fact.
Is this a conscious effort like he's doing? He's like leaning into this? Is this something he's doing?
Yeah, it's very obvious. The oatmeal cookie one is just classic. I mean, all offseason he's had like 5 to 10 of these things where he's like, nobody is whiter than me through and through. And it's been a pretty good series because he does get roasted every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time it works. And I'm happy Greenberg, who is also potentially in the whitest human of all time running, said, hey, listen, I'm fucking fed up with how white you are at this point. And that's kind of Dan Orlovsky's thing, I think, at this point.
Yeah, it is. I think he told us that until like his senior year of college, the only thing he ate were mayo and cheese sandwiches with the crust cut off.
Yeah, and there's no way that's true, but that is him saying, what is the most Caucasian thing we can say?
Right.
And that was it. Boom, he let it rip. So I appreciate him. He is leaning fully into that at this point.
In that cookies tweet, he does have, a couple spaces, and then he says, which I think we all do agree, cookies and cream ice cream greater than all other ice cream.
Yeah, great statement of fact. And that's the first one he has put out there in this I am the whitest of all time thing that I've agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of things. I mean, we could scroll back. Like it seems like it's weekly at this point because his NFL Live crew started this because the group text messages with Dan Orlovsky would start getting screenshotted and posted. And I guess he didn't put any seasoning on any of his food maybe until last year. Like no seasoning at all on any of his food until last year.
Can't have it.
Yeah, he's a different breed of white, I think.
Something about pumpernickel bagels. I think he said something like those are the best. Or
Literally, just think of the whitest thing of all time, and Orlovsky happens to fit the bill.
Face of it.
Yeah. How was he at those parties you go to?
What parties?
You know what parties I'm talking
You know what? I saw Dane back in college at the Walter Camp Football Awards. It was like a weekend, like a 2 or 3 day event, and it was awesome. And Dane was the man there. Like I think he won the award there for the quarterback or whatever. But yeah, he was rolling back then.
Is that the All-American team, the Walter Payton camp?
No, it's Walter Camp, not Walter Payton.
Oh,
stuff him in
I think
a
I was
locker?
second team on this thing.
I think Walter Camp.
Walter what?
Maybe I'm wrong. Something Camp. Walter Camp. I don't know.
Walter something. I remember. I think I was second team on it. Man, maybe I wasn't. And I was like, "What the fuck? Fuck this thing."
It was in Connecticut.
Done with it.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was supposed to be on this thing. That's like the Playboy All-American thing was happening whenever that whole my era was going.
Yeah.
Steve and Pat were a part of it. They had some trash ass. No, I'm joking. I think the characters are really good, but
they were trash.
I definitely at the time said, "This fucking trash ass guy." Just put us on a field together. Just put us on a field together and let's compete for this thing.
See what happens.
Especially at that time, being a Playboy All-American. Oh my God, I would.
Nice.
You couldn't have told me nothing. Hindsight, pretty thankful I wasn't part of it.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
Probably saved me.
Exactly.
It was Walter Camp.
Might have changed some stuff.
The Walter Camp.
Yeah.
Did they have punters and kickers in that thing too, or no?
Ooh, I don't know.
Sure they did.
I feel like I remember hearing about it. I think Ryan Stanchek, our offensive lineman, was a part of this. And some others. I thought maybe there was a chance I'd get on there, and I said, fuck off.
Screw it.
I didn't even get first team all Big East.
Really?
Yeah, Kevin Huber.
Son of a bitch.
Prick.
I didn't deserve it. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I did well, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
You're a Ray Guy finalist, though.
Yeah, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And Ray Guy knew I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I think that's ultimately why he didn't let me win, which is a shame. Fuck Ray Guy. All right. Hey, Joe, see you tomorrow, dude. NFL kickoff day tomorrow.
Woo! You're gonna have your prediction tomorrow, right?
I had my prediction today because that's when the segment was called to be.
That's right.
Yep. Oh, was it?
Yeah, thanks for following the product, dude. Thanks for following the show.
Son of a bitch.
Did you miss?
All right, there's no reason to do it a day early. Season starts tomorrow.
Did you miss the deck?
I did miss the deck. I was left out on the group text or email.
Who was supposed to email the deck? We had a big old deck.
We did.
Massive.
Hey, we had a big old deck for you, too. I think you would have liked it.
Sorry, pal. It was a big, huge deck.
Yeah. Sorry, we couldn't get that big, huge deck through your terrible internet system. Ain't that right, artificial deep fake gump?
We tried. He had too many filters and antivirus blockers.
Oh, the cookies.
Okay.
It was the
Yeah.
cookies.
That makes
It was your
sense.
cookies, which we have learned and experienced every single day, yeah. We'll send the deck over, but this is what you need to know. Aaron Rodgers Jeez. Overreaction Monday.
Hell yeah. Yep.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Can't wait.
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Woo.
Coaches up Chuck Wednesday.
Come on.
Thursday Night Football Thursday.
Yep.
And then I think we have Coach JB on Fridays.
Yes.
Yeah, just to bring the energy. I mean, I had reached out to him a couple times during the offseason, and he got into it with some people that I was like, all right, JB, can't be fucking doing this shit. Literally, I can't be doing it. And he got past it. Then the other night, as soon as I heard oh, fuck, dog, I was like, I got to have this guy in my life. So he'll be coming in on Feel Good Fridays to break down the college football schedule of the weekend coming up. And his thoughts. I have no idea how that's going to go. I have no clue how it's going to go.
Well.
And there are some things, and I've said this, and we have said this, there are some things that are for us. You know? And Coach JB being on every single Friday, I think, is a decision that we have made strictly for us. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be presented by Slapdick Whiskey, and I cannot wait to see what happens out there, dude.
Oh, he's going to be awesome. Maybe you can pull some strings and get old Timmy Tebow when he's done arguing with Stephen A. to pop on here on Fridays, too, with Coach JB.
So Fridays, we're probably going to end up going, this Friday, we're going 11 to 2 live on YouTube.
Okay.
11 to 2, we're going live on YouTube. Then Hammer Dahn will be the 2 to 3 o'clock hour on Sirius XM. I'm hopping on a plane, obviously, at 2 o'clock, flying to Madison Square Garden. That should be fucking insane on Friday, by the way. So it's one day before the 20-year anniversary of September 11th in Madison Square Garden. And all the documentaries that are being released about the decisions that were made behind the scenes by Vince and everybody being the first public assembly after September 11th, 2001. Like, I think it's going to be a very emotional big night on Friday. I can't wait to get there. So 11 to 2 live on YouTube here. Then 2 to 3 will be hammered down on Sirius XM, which, by the way, let's go.
Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go, boys. I'm excited for Friday night, though. I'm back in the saddle. You know what I mean, AJ?
MSG. I've never been to MSG.
Me neither. I went to a boxing match there, but it wasn't in the. I have been.
Remember your
I've been
name
there
was up
twice.
on the.
Yeah, I had my picture up on the fucking jumbotron.
Oh yeah.
Who was it? Triple G and
Triple G and
full chain coffee.
DAZN still a
something
company?
like that. I think so.
Yeah, because they have all the NFL rights in Canada and Europe.
In America, though.
Oh, in America, I think they just do boxing in America.
Still do boxing.
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah.
They still do boxing, though?
Yep.
That night was electrifying.
It was.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome
really
event
cool.
over there. Triple G, Wayne Rooney was in the building.
Yep.
Wayne Rooney.
Gaza.
We went to the
Loved
Yankees playoff game that day.
Remember the
We
night?
did right before
yeah,
it.
and then we went over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Grand Salami.
Yeah.
How quick was that chug?
Like
1.2 seconds.
I had a
Something
little
like that.
12-ounce beer in a cup that I chugged in the background
Oh yeah, I've seen the commercial that runs.
Yeah.
during an at-bat. Before the ball was pitched.
Yeah.
Before the camera was cut. Had to sneak it in there. Because we were getting so many fucking people were tweeting. Look at these idiots. Pat, are you at the Yankees game right now? And then the next tweet was, look at fucking Zito at the Yankees game, living his best life, because there was this one camera angle for a right-handed batter where we were literally just the only ones in frame. It was just us sitting there. It was
We
class.
figured out the cue light on top of the camera.
As soon as we
Yep.
saw the light, we're like, all right, so when that thing's on, it's go time, boys. I think Zito housed a hot dog, mate. Tried to put a whole hot dog in his
Double
mouth.
dog.
Yeah.
Double dogged it.
We are the dumbest crew of people. But thank you all so much for watching and listening. We're back tomorrow with another big episode. Hey, tomorrow's
Hell
going to be a big one. NFL game day. I mean, let's go, dude.
Yeah. Thursday night football Thursdays. Are you kidding me? It's the first one of the year.
All right, we'll change the name of Thursdays.
I like it.
Don't need you to put an umbrella to a brainstorm. You hear
come
me?
on.
Don't need to bring the umbrella to the brainstorm. Maybe we'll just call Thursdays Thursdays.
Okay.
All right. Welcome
don't
to
want-
Thursdays Thursday. This is a Thursday of all Thursdays here. This is Thursday Night Football Thursday. We'll have shit to talk about, though, I think, every Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
You know, because our situation with the Bookers is fascinating. You know? It's very fascinating.
They're still around.
I mean, we had to pay 7-8 months in advance. So maybe they'll find their groove 3-4 months into this thing.
Yeah, That's we'll right. see.
I think we're already 2-3 months into this thing.
Yeah.
Definitely more
I think they would have found their groove already.
Always good to just roll out of the gate slow, right? Really build it up.
I mean, it's.
Well, they're not
I feel
rolling
like
out.
we are being bamboozled right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is another situation, just like the store, where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to remove myself from this situation because I don't have, I just don't have the patience to just be like, all right, fuck off then. You know what I mean? I have re-put myself in there as a motivator. Okay, I have come back in and said like, hey, how we feeling? You know, and then the continued lack of production led to today. Hey, come on, you know, like, hey, come on, what are we doing? And then I got a response back of all the emails that were sent. It's like, I don't care about the emails that are sent. I appreciate the effort. But where's the production here? You know, at some point, I understand seeing how the sausage is made is great, but at some point, I want to have a fucking sausage patty.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
booking is a results-oriented business, you know. So.
And the results currently can only go up.
Yeah.
Remember we had that one day, who was it? Usain Bolt?
Three guests. Krauser.
That day was awesome.
day.
You remember that
Uh-huh.
day, AJ? That was incredible. And I think that this booking company has been like golf, you know, where you'll have that one shot that just is like, fucking bring us back. I'm in golf again. It feels like that has happened the last couple months, even though they had us pay for 10 months in advance.
Right. And they do have some opportunities here coming up where, you know, they can, you know, maybe put one in play, but we'll see.
That was this week.
Put in play. We're getting pretty good at booking ourselves, by the way, AJ.
Yep.
And we are getting access to some things now where it'd be a real shame if we had to run this company right off the.
Fuck it.
What if we became the best bookers of all time?
There's a chance.
Maybe we start telling other shows, hey, we'll do your booking.
We'll book for you.
We've seen what you've had to deal with. We'll do this for you. This is all it's going to cost you. You need to pay us 24 months in advance like this other booking company.
Yeah. That's how it works. Hey, that's the business.
Yeah.
So that's why we got to have so many regulars, I think, by the way. Because if I wake up every day with that text message saying, nah, nobody today, but we got some lines in the water or whatever.
Maybe tomorrow.
I will lose my mind. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that anymore. So we're just going to we're becoming a segment show. I knew we'd get to this.
No, not segment show.
No, on Thursday.
No.
Yeah, usual.
Thursday Night Football
I don't think
No! We're
guests
brainstorming. AJ shit on it.
Guests aren't segments. Guests are guests.
Yeah, but Coaches Up Chalk, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, Overreaction Monday. I mean, those are three pretty distinct.
JB Fridays.
Yeah, we got to figure out a name for that.
Slapdick Friday.
Slapdick Friday.
Yeah.
Right, Slapdick Friday.
Don't be a fucking shitbird, AJ.
All right, there's what are the levels?
The slapdick.
The slapdick, fuckstick,
shitbird.
And then once you get to the...
We all got
Ain't no coming back.
Yeah, you
We
can
all
come
got
back
a
from
little
being a
fuck stick in
shitbird.
us.
No, we all got a little slap dick in us.
Yeah,
Mostly you.
I can't wait for
I have it
Fridays.
highlighted in the book.
I can't wait for Fridays. I honestly, I cannot wait for that.
Because something's going to happen in the Thursday night college football game that's going to fucking piss them off.
I swear to God, I'll go to the fucking bar.
Right? If they just, fuck, dog. I'm going to the bar. Sorry, Lane. I ain't watching this shit.
I'll text you.
Only white dude to grow up in his neighborhood in Compton.
Uh-huh.
Gets put on Netflix. They give him $0. He is a superstar.
Yeah.
Gets fired, probably because of what happened on that thing.
Right.
And now just kind of floating through life, just talking shit to everybody. I love that man. I absolutely love that man. Every time a video of his pops into my timeline,
You know it's going to be good.
I start crying, laughing. I'm like, I text him every single time I see a video of his, by the way, and I'm like, all right, we got to do something. We got to do something. You fucking tell me when, man. Now we're doing it. Every Friday, Coach JB coming on.
Do you think Aaron, maybe we add this to Aaron Rodgers' book club?
Hey, listen, I'm not deciding any of the books, but I do believe we should potentially present that to be in front of Aaron to see if maybe that does become a part of the book club. You know what I mean?
As a coach, you want to save the slap dicks and even a few fuck sticks, but I have learned over time that shitbirds cannot be saved. Coach JB.
Poetry.
That's JB 316. That's part of his Bible. Hate me now.
It
love
makes
me
sense,
later.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
By the way, this is just like Jim Irsay. Okay? The delivery, and this happens to me, I guess, too, because the way I speak, Those who only listen to the beats of the songs will never fully understand or appreciate Jim Irsay or the people that write the lyrics behind it. You have to get through the delivery to hear the message. In JB, every time he has come on, his delivery is epic. Okay, it is epic in my eyes, but a lot of people get potentially turned off by it, I could assume. But if you listen to what he's saying, there's some truth in everything that he's saying.
Oh, yeah, unreal.
You just got to get past the delivery, you know what I mean? Don't just listen to the beat, listen to the story that's being told behind it, pal. I've had to say that to a couple people. Hey, listen, I understand my theatrics while I'm speaking might not be your cup of tea, pal. But if you listen to my words, I'm fucking running circles around all the motherfuckers that are boring talking son of bitches too, if you just want to listen to that. And some people can't do it, and JB, I think, runs into that issue a lot, especially when he's trying to get a job at a college, and it's the oldest of whites.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far.
Hey, what's up, fuck stick? All right, just guys.
Get him out of here.
No.
I know what you mean, pal. There's someone pretending to be me, always talking for me.
Deep fake Gump. Hell of a reunion of this show and Deep Fake Gump, by the way. I think he has more lines than Gump today.
He's on a run. He's on a run.
Hey, how have you been betting, by the way, coming out of the COVID cave? You hot?
Yeah, we're still rolling. That's all he did. Sat there.
Prison workout.
50 hours of homework.
Found games to bet. Read 900 pages. Read some emails, and that was it.
No, all right. We need you to stay out of those fucking emails, right? Stay in the sports book, out of the emails for the good of Hammer Down. It's in 15 minutes, by the way, at youtube.com/ probably at 4 o'clock if I had to guess at this point. youtube.com/ Hammer Down. Can't wait to listen to what we're betting on, what, deep dive into the sports book you guys found. AJ, we appreciate the hell out of you, pal.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Can't wait for Thursday Night Football Thursday tomorrow.
Sounds so
I think
stupid.
we go with it.
Sounds so stupid coming out of your mouth, though. Now, can you say it one more time?
No.
Say, like, hey, welcome to, you know what I mean? Do the whole thing just so I can, this is how we're supposed to brainstorm. We got to hear what it's like. I need to hear it potentially, not just out of my mouth.
You're the host. I need to hear you say it first.
No. I would like to hear somebody else say it before I say it, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be caught with my pants down.
Connor, give it a shot. I know you want to go.
No, say it, Hawk.
Connor always finds his camera. He's like Tom Cruise.
Well, Tom Cruise, he didn't know that one camera was on him at one time whenever he was talking about saving the entire industry.
That's right.
I think he might have.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he wanted that to get out? Hey, turn that on.
He saved the entire movie industry.
Well, then AJ's friend, Miles
I was
Teller.
going to tell you, you better tell your guy, because TC's going to rip his fucking throat out if he doesn't get his shit together. If Top Gun 2 gets postponed another 6 months, TC will end his life.
This is not a fucking joke, AJ.
Why don't you tell him?
Who do you want me to tell?
Miles Teller.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't see that he's avoiding.
And also, by the way, tell him that we didn't break the news that he got punched in the mouth. We can finally clear that up.
Yeah, that was TMZ.
What did he do? He had me in tabloids in Sweden calling me a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right. I can't even go to Sweden because of Miles Teller.
Bullshit. You wanted to.
I wanted to watch that Godfather series, too. Can't even watch that now.
Nope.
I know. That one's
Your
really,
friend.
really hurting me.
And they're always neutral.
Oh, man.
It's probably going to be pretty good, you think?
What?
I mean, it looks interesting, but it's never going to get made because the fucking guy's giving everybody COVID and they have to shut down the set.
The Godfather series?
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Miles, come on the show anytime. Explain your side of the story, pal. We'd love to do it. But until then, I will only be able to report what is told to me.
Correct.
And I would appreciate it if maybe you came out and said, like, hey, Pat, sorry for throwing you under every international tabloid bus that I possibly could with one tweet about a situation that somebody else was reporting on and you were just telling. He could say that if he wanted to, or not. Or just talk to us about the Godfather series. He is your friend, so I assume he was a pretty toxic human being, if I had to guess.
No, I don't know. I think you guys should sit down and hash it out, whatever issues you have.
Don't have any.
It's good for him for stepping up and taking over for Armie Hammer in that movie, though.
All right. Hammer Down's in 20 minutes. See you guys tomorrow. Can't thank you enough. Cheers.
Gump's back.